it's about getting into schools and talking to young people, because, you know, I know that people can change. And it's about talking to people and getting them to understand and perhaps step back from violence and prejudice and whatever. And we just need to work together and keep on the good fight there.
Absolutely. Hey there, guys. We are ecstatically happy to announce that we are associated with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
The times are changing, and with the unfortunate death of Sophie, those changes have made a massive impact for the future. If Sophie was with us still today, I can guarantee what you are doing will still be reaching so many lives of young teenagers, young adults, and those who wish to be as different as possible. So thank you very much.
To find out more about this incredible foundation and all the work they do, and more importantly, how you can help, head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com.
Hi guys, my name's Annabelle Knight and I am a sex and relationships expert, and right now you are listening to the Chronicles of Podcast with Tom and Jamie.
What's going on, guys? It's the 61st edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. Oh, I do this every time. I'm so sorry. Game show wave, everyone. Game show faces. Welcome to the 61st edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. Jamie, I do believe hang on. These are the Chronicles of Annabelle Knight. Am I right?
You are right, sir. Well done.
Excellent. Insert game show wave again. Cut to camera and get back on this road. Wonderful. I'm still going to drive, though, if you don't mind. Hit it!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 61st edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. And these are the Chronicles of Annabelle Knight. It is I, the bearded brummy Jamie, and joining me, as always, is this handsome fella over here.
What's going on? Firstly, I completely forgot to learn the Macarena. God fucking damn it. I just realised that.
Lyrics or the dance?
Yeah, the lyrics thing. I set the challenge to actually be able to sing the lyrics properly, because obviously I completely forgot. Secondly, when you were doing said Macarena to these, it definitely sounded like you were saying titties. Titties.
Well, you may have failed, but I didn't learn it, but I did look up the English lyrics. And quite frankly, they don't make a fat lot of sense. But there's one verse that stands out. It goes, Macarena has a boyfriend who's called the last name Vitorino. And while he was taking his oath as a conscript, basically joining the army, she was giving it to his two friends. Aye? So basically, he was signing up to the army and she was having a threesome with his buddies.
Wow. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
What's the chorus mean? Did you look at that?
I did. It says, give happiness to your body, Macarena, because your body is for giving happiness and nice things too. Give happiness to your body, Macarena. Hey, Macarena. Hi.
Wonderful. That's really fucking cool.
Basically, what I'm getting from this song, what I can work out with translations, is basically about just sleeping with everyone.
So, 2022.
Standard song for the 90s, really. Well, there we
go. Just fuck everyone.
Everyone. Doesn't matter.
But weirdly, Jamie, this kind of segues in beautifully to my first piece of random shit at the beginning of every episode. Okay. Do you remember shag bands?
Oh my God, yeah, I forgot about them.
Basically, the illuminated bands that you would wear around your wrist. And if someone broke one, you don't have to bang them or just bang somebody at some point.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a really weird concept because you were a teenager when you wore them, or kids. So that's fucking weird to begin with. But essentially, you could have got somebody and gone, come on, cupboard.
That's the fucking laws of the shag bends, love. You ain't got a choice in the matter, eh?
If you don't wear it and I break it, I'm going to be inside you. That's what she. But Jamie, what you don't realise is like there's no actual instruction or concept of who's fucking who. So it could be a case of you break that shag band, like fucking wonderful. She gets that strap and goes, cool, peg it. And all hell's gonna fucking break loose because he's literally gonna tear you a new asshole.
Very good point. Although we only remember it from when we were kids. There's got to have been people in nightclubs that went up to people and went, "Come on, then, love, you fucking pulled. I've snapped your shag band."
What an absolute weird ass concept. I mean, I don't think they actually were called shag bands. They're probably just glow wristbands or some random weird ass. Yeah. But for some weird reason, the British public went, right, if we break them, we're fucking. Like, what? No, I told you, it's decided, right? Scientifically speaking, if I could snap that glow band off your wrist, we're banging, all right?
And you very easily could because of the thinnest fucking plastic ever. Yeah, half the time you break them trying to get them on.
But why did the gloop never actually fall out? Unless obviously it's lined, I guess. It's just lined in, sealed. I don't know. It's weird. It's so weird.
Possibly. There's loads of different ones, though, weren't there? There's ones like that, like you're saying, and there's ones that were literally just a piece of coloured plastic. That's it. Job done.
I don't think I think I had the glow. I can't remember. I had loads when I was in school. Like I mean, hippie. Like I'm talking all the way down.
I had quite a few. I think I only even wore them on one arm, though. I don't know. Can't remember now. It was a very long time ago.
But nobody ever wanted to break them, so that's probably why I had so fucking many.
Snap, I'll have a wank.
I guess I'm fucking myself then. Oh, I already am. I'm wearing 15,000.
That's probably why. Because I'm wearing so fucking many.
Yeah. And then I had this this is where my brain went today. I had my first day back at work today after my week off. And I had soup for lunch, right? And I was opening said tin of soup. Why? Like, this freaks me out every time. It's the same with yogurt. Pulls off nice and beautifully, pulled it back. When you get to the end, it goes, right, okay, it's not coming off. Why is it not snapping off? Like, what's the point of this? And then you go, well, you know what's going to happen, don't you? The whole point of it, the tension is you're going to throw it everywhere.
Yep.
So I'm assuming what you're meant to do is peel it and then wait to it. But yogurt, it's going to flip back over again. So you've got to pull that fucker off, like rip the Band-Aid off sort of thing. But you always get nervous when you get to the end and you just, as you're pulling it off, it's like, oh, shit. Bollocks! I've done it to myself so many times, but literally that suit today, I got to the end, I was like, for fuck. And rather than just go, pour, now I'll pull the end off, I went, shit. Right, here we go. Come on. Breathe. Let's go. I've got a few seconds here, otherwise we're all fucked. I pulled it. It went, luckily, all up my arm and nowhere on me. Perfect.
I do.
You have to smile.
Soup is the one. Soup is the scariest, especially like tomato soup, because you're like, that fucker's going to stain. That like thick tomato soup. I reckon what we should do if we're in a rush is aim it away from us as well, openly.
I aimed it away from myself, Jamie. It still went all over my arm.
Fucking soup. It's going to get you no matter what you do.
I think the concept of it is that you're meant to get to the edge, then pour, then pull. But
possibly
yogurts, you can't do that with. Yogurts, you have to go all the way off.
Yeah.
Are you one of those people you pull all the way off, or do you leave half it and let it flap? I hate that shit.
No, fuck that. Pull it off. I want to put the liquor lid, put it in the bin, and go sit down and eat my yogurt. I ain't fanning around.
Although I can't do that foil tin. I can't deal with that when it's like Muller. You know, it's got that the foil side on the inside. No, so I use a spoon to
straight
like,
spoon.
I can't. Yeah, hell no. This makes me feel weird now.
I remember seeing someone once having a Muller rice, ripping the lid off,
like this.
folding it like origami to make a spoon, and then using that to eat the Muller rice. I was like, how are you putting that in your mouth for every spoon? I couldn't put that in my mouth for every spoonful, though.
Genius. Oh, God, my teeth feel so weird.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. That's cool as shit.
It's clever, so I'm washing up.
Oh, I haven't got a spoon? No problem. And goose! No, I'm joking. But that is fucking genius.
Clever, but yeah, I couldn't put that in my fucking mouth.
I find that at work, when they provide cutlery, you always don't have the one piece of cutlery you fucking need. And there's like 50 Brazilian knives and 50 Brazilian spoons, but you want to eat pasta, no forks.
Yeah.
Or rice, no forks. You're like, well, what the fuck says I'm not using a spoon to eat this shit? It's not how it works. There's always a set utensil for each like food, isn't there?
Quite luckily, I don't have to worry about that at work because I wouldn't want to use the cutlery that's at work because it looks like it's been there since the 50s. So I have my own at work.
Oh, NHS cutlery.
Yeah, I just leave mine there. It's vile. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I've had that in the past. Or there is one of those, but some fuckers left it in the bowl and then left it dirty. So you've got to wash it up. Bastard.
I really hate lazy fuckers. I absolutely hate them. But still, there we are. Have you got anything to bring to the table before we move on? Apart from
I haven't actually got anything this week. No, nothing's come across me to
Perfect.
peruse.
How are you, sir?
I'm very well. I'm feeling a bit rough today. I had a sore throat yesterday, and then I woke up this morning feeling like I've been hit by a bus. But just a nasty cold, and the kid had me up on every odd moment from about 4:30 this morning. So
Why?
she woke up because her ear was hurting, and then she woke up because she missed Becky, and then she woke up because it was too dark in her room and there was 2 lights on. And then I was just like, go to sleep.
I've got an excellent entry for the journal later. Just about kids, don't you worry about that.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
When feeling like shit, why do we always revert to feeling like getting hit by a bus? Because you'd be dead. So, I've got a bit of a sniffles. Yeah, been hit by a fucking bus. Have you? I'm pretty sure your limbs would be everywhere. And you'd be pretty much dead.
I mean, you're right. It's one of those wonderful English language things again, isn't it? Why do we always say this?
God almighty, I've been hit by a fucking bus. Are you a zombie?
Someone gets hit by a bus and they're like, oh, I feel like I've got a bad cold.
Oh, my back hurts a little bit. I feel like I'm fucking 84. How do you know an 84-year-old has a bad back? I don't know. They have everything, don't they? I don't know. I'm good. I literally can't. My brain is not working fast enough. So I'm like,
I've never had words.
pillar. That's literally what's going on here, boys. That's literally what's going on right here.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I'm all right. Just, I might have to keep muting myself so I can cough. But other than that, we're all groovy, baby.
Yeah. To get random spurts of Tom being like, yeah, so, it was like a bat out of hell. Then we all know that Jamie's trying to splutter everywhere if you listen to on audio only.
This is Tom filling dead air. Anyway, how are you?
I want ice cream. Yeah, I'm good. I'm very well rested. Very, very well rested. It's been a great week off. So not under stress or worry about anything. No 7 a.m. alarms till today. We are recording this on a Monday night. But yeah, man, I'm glorious. I'm great. It's been a lot of fun. So I have absolutely nothing to complain about.
What we like to hear.
Only 2 weeks to go, boys. 2 weeks to go. So next week is going to be the last show from Spexit. All right,
baby. All right.
So, come on then, Jamie. How's your week been?
My week's been all right. The start of it was pretty uneventful, to be honest. I literally just worked. I was on day shift, so just worked, come home.
Just Rihanna.
Yeah, pretty much just Rihanna. And me and you, we did 3 days of recording in a row. Obviously, everyone heard last week's episode. That was one of them. And then we did 2 fantastic interviews, including this week's. So there was that. And then on Friday, our good friend Gemma Williams from Talking Codswallop and her friend Lucy came over with Lucy's boyfriend. And we had some Chinese food. Lucy was in I don't know, the normal saying is in town, but we don't live in a town, it's a city. But saying in city sounds weird. But yeah, basically, Gemma was in Birmingham. The original plan was to go out for drinks, but as I mentioned in a minute, my wife went away this weekend, so she was just like, I don't want to go out Friday night and we're knackered. So we invited them around here for Chinese and we just had a chinwag, listened to some music. Good times. And I got to eat Chinese food, so it's always a winner. Can never argue with eating Chinese food. And then Saturday was daddy-daughter day because basically the wife went to York for the weekend with her friends, which was very nice for her. So it was me and Olivia for the past 3 days and we've had a grand old time. It's been great fun. On Saturday, I took her to the Sea Life Centre. She went and brought her a bath bomb from Lush because she likes having bath bombs and took her to the shop to spend some money that she had. Yeah, we just had a great day. And considering I dragged the kid walking around town, She didn't complain once. I was like, you are the most perfect behaved child today. I'm loving this. What's happened? But no, it was an absolutely beautiful day. I had so much fun. Bless her. She cracks me up. And she has, I don't know if I've mentioned on the show before, she has this obsession with the Trolls movies.
No.
The two Trolls movies, they are her life. She loves them. Absolutely loves them. But in Birmingham, we have a bench dedicated to Black Sabbath. And in the last Trolls movie, they sing Crazy Train. So I played her the original version of Crazy Train. So she loves that song. Absolutely loves it. So I took her to the bench and I was like, who's that there? And she read it and she's like, Ozzy. She's like, is that Ozzy Osbourne, Daddy? I was like, it is. She's like, oh, I love Ozzy Osbourne, and gave the bench a hug and then sat next to it. And I was like, you are so fucking cute. But yes, the kid loves Ozzy Osbourne. I had the coolest door in the world. And then yesterday, my dad brought the kids over instead of me going to see them because they stayed at his for the weekend, which was very nice, wasn't they? My kids got to see Black Adam in the cinema before I bloody have. And then me and Olivia had movie day and we watched Free Willy. I decided to introduce her to one of my favourite movies as a kid. And she absolutely loved it.
She got way through.
Watched it all the way through. She asked me about 600 billion questions, but I was like, do you know what? If she's going to sit and watch it, I'll answer them all. I forget how depressing that film is in parts. Like, the film opens with a whale being caught in a net and it's making whale crying noises, but I explained it to her the whole way through. And at the end, when Willie's swimming to go towards the wall to jump over, she's like, go on, Willie, go. And I was just like, yes, Olivia, come on. Fucking root him on. Go on, whale. It's absolutely awesome. And then today, Olivia's best friend and her 3 siblings came round, and by the end of the time, I wanted to cry and curl up in a ball and wish to never see another child again in my life, because that is way too many kids in my house when I feel like death.
And you're on your own.
And I was like, well, to be fair, their mum was there as well, so I wasn't all on my own. But yeah, God, that was hard work. I was knackered. And then here we are now. Watching wise,
Jamie, before you jump into watching wise, what else did you do today, mate?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
You had to post a certain item.
Why are you making me talk about this?
Because you brought it up, and I thought that it'd be funny as fuck to play it on the show. So, people like to get insight into our lives, Jamie Westwood. So you had some surgery about 12 weeks ago, and then we had to do a follow-up. So what exactly was it you had to do today?
Fine, if you must know.
Oh, it's an exclusive. TCO Pod exclusive right here, right now.
I can just picture Gemma listening to this going, I don't want to know this. Basically, I had to abstain from doing anything for 2 to 6 days. So I was a champ and I lasted 6 days. Nothing whatsoever. My balls were as blue as a Smurf's face, but I fucking did it.
And they were in a wheelbarrow and you had to carry them around everywhere.
Yeah, I was like
over your
Randy,
shoulder.
I was like Randy Marsh, just wheelbarrowing them around. So yeah, then should I just put this crudely or do I go scientifically on it? Crudely, basically I had to have a wank into a test tube last night.
Oh God, a test tube? Not even a pot?
No, it was like a thin test
hard
tube.
To aim. Fuck that.
Yeah, it was fucking difficult.
Bollocks.
You're like, it's been 6 days. This is great. This is the best part of my week. I have needed this. And you get towards the end, you're like, how the fuck am I going to do this?
Especially when it's like, oh God.
Yeah.
Just lose all control of your body.
You sort of have to like... Best way I could try to describe it is, do you ever try to have a piss with a stiffy?
Well, I had a Superman with this Superman.
You just got to try to fucking aim it, yeah. It was basically like that. And I just sort of I was like, oh, this is weird. Yeah. So yeah, I basically had to do that and then fill in a piece of paper and put it in the post box this morning. So me and Olivia took a nice stroll to the post box and Daddy could post his cum
as well. Mr. Postman, I need to post my semen, thank you.
I was reading the thing, it's like, please don't tell me I've got to take it to the post office. Because like, what's inside?
Man juice. Man juice. Me man. My juice inside. Don't smell or sniff it, just put it away.
And me being me, I backed out of this idea at the end, but I was like, I've got an idea. Becky's away for the weekend, you know what I'm going to do? I took a picture of the test tube after I sent it, and I was like, I'm going to send it to her. And then I was like, shit, no, she's out with all of her friends. If anyone looks over her shoulder, she'll be like, what the fuck has he just sent you? I was like, I'm not running that risk. I'm not sending this picture.
Also, Who calls it a stiffy anymore?
Do you know what? I regretted it as soon as I said it.
You know when it gets hard, yeah. Bit stiffy.
Said it. Questioned
What,
myself.
13?
I said it. Questioned myself. I was like, he didn't pick me up on that. I'm safe. Fuck no.
Never fucking safe with me around, boy. Nothing gets past. God, the amount of messages I messaged you like, Jamie, you spelled that right. Jamie, there's an apostrophe here. Jamie, what about this? What about that? Yeah, you're never free, Westwood.
Oh.
This is your life now.
Me and my stiffies can never escape you.
Stiffies posting jizz. You know, what's next?
I just remember doing it. I was walking around again as if I just stuck a tube of my cum in a post box. It was weird.
Hey, Mr. Postman.
Then I just thought, whose job it is to open these tubes and go through it? Oh, just
mind you, when I did that medical trial, I had to shit into pots and got sent to London from Nottingham, so like by courier.
Oh God, it's even worse.
And honestly, it wasn't just mine. There were 8 people. There were 6 people in there. They had to take 6 people's pots of shit to be tested. Paper and everything. I couldn't throw any of that away. God, that's the weirdest arse wiping I've ever had in my life.
You couldn't
By the
flush the
end of
paper?
it, I was like, I don't need a fucking toilet. It's in a pot. Pot on a bag.
What, you had to wipe your arse and then send off the paper as well?
Put it into a bag and then zip it up. Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
I got paid $3,500, so I'm not complaining in any way, shape, or form. But yeah,
Well, no,
it's
to be
like,
fair, yeah, I'd shit on the table for $3.5
but obviously, if you'd eaten really badly, see, I chose my food really well. I was like, no veg, nope, no beans,
all the protein, please.
yeah, it's just so it's solid, so that it's not like oh crap. No, I've literally got to wipe this up. Bollocks.
Has
That
anyone
could be
got a jug instead of a tub? This might be easier.
They I'm not no word of a lie, put caution tape over the toilet and taped it motherfucking up so no one could use it. Yeah. Like, so they'd know if they wrapped it in so much caution tape and biohazard and toxic stuff, you couldn't touch the toilet at all.
I've got this image of one of the people that work there dying for a shit, just running and going, fuck! Trying to find one that isn't covered in caution tape.
But Jamie, the toilet was locked. You had to wait for a nurse to come and open it. So if you were desperate, you were fucking... Could someone come and open the toilet, please? Can someone fucking give me a jug? Like, I mean, I'm serious. I need it. I'm touching fucking cloth, love. You need to get here as fast as fucking possible. It's already halfway out.
You'll be scraping this sample from the inside of my fucking boxes if you don't move it, love.
Yeah. Do I need to post these too? I mean, it's so worth it. I'm not going to lie. Sorry, I completely took over there.
No.
So watching-wise, Jamie.
Watching-wise. How the fuck to get this back on track?
I'm so pleased to do that today. It's made such great content. That.
Yeah, great. I did not want to talk about it.
I can't wait to tell Tom about this late.
That's what I was thinking about as I was doing it.
Oh, mate. Thanks.
It's something great content.
I can't wait to talk with Miss Stiffy. Oh, fucking hell. Watching wise then, Jamie.
Watching wise. Oh, I'm halfway through episode 2 of season 2 of 24. I finally started picking up again last night.
Yay!
Really good so far. It's a good start. I'm enjoying it.
Season 2 is one of the up there seasons. It's so great.
Well, considering it gave me a what the fuck moment in the first episode, I was like, okay, this is a good start. There's the witness who they can help take someone down, and Jack just fucking kills him.
Oh, yeah.
And then puts his head in a bag. I was like, what the fuck is his head in a bag? I was like, okay, yeah, this is fucked up. Okay, I'm enjoying this. This is good. This is good. Not the story of his daughter and the guy was a bit weird. I was like, where the hell did this come from? But I suppose that's the problem when you only see a day's worth for this whole series. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to it. Watching wise, I've only really watched 2 Halloween horror movies this week that I can remember. I watched From Dusk Till Dawn, one of my favorite films of all time. Absolutely fucking amazing movie. I don't think that film gets enough love, and even though it's loved, it doesn't get enough love because it's amazing. Have you watched From Dusk Till Dawn?
Nope. Oh, come on, Jay.
I know, just you never know. And then I rewatched.
I appreciate you asking.
You never know. I rewatched Halloween from 2018, the first of these new trilogies. That was better than I remember it being as well. Enjoyed that. And last off, this isn't a horror movie, but it might as well be one because it's that shit. I realised I've not watched the last Transformers movie, The Last Night. I never got around to watching it. Fuck me, that film's bad. What the hell happened to their movies? They were great when they first started.
Yeah, I think because LaBeouf's not in it, is he?
No, it's Mark Wahlberg. It's a Transformer.
Yeah.
It's fucking Sir Anthony Hopkins, and it's like Arthur and Merlin, and I was like, what is happening in this goddamn movie? Yeah. The Transformers dragon? I was like, what? Yeah. Absolute bag of shite. But yeah, that's probably the scariest thing I watched out of all 3 of them. Anyway, what about you, sir? What about you?
So I posted. No, I'm joking. So, obviously, me and the wonderful other half carers, we've had a week off. So we've been doing a lot of chilling, but we're doing a lot of bits and pieces here and there as well. So, so when did we last record? We recorded Tuesday, the show on Tuesday. So obviously, I went to the castle that day. So on Wednesday, we went to what's called the Big Pit. Up in Blanhaven, whatever it's fucking called.
Welsh pronunciation.
Blanhaven. It's up somewhere. I went to the thing called the Big Pit, which is literally real coal mines. They're now it's now a museum, but it's a real coal mine. Like it stopped production in 1980 something. So you literally go in, take a ticket, it's free. Sit and wait for all the people that show you around are actual miners that actually worked in mines. So It's mental. It's so fucking cool. We're this proper Welsh Valleys guy walking us around. Hilarious bloke, really lovely. From up by Merthyr and Merthyr Tydale. And we were proper hard hat with a little light on because it's fucking dark underground.
Oddly enough.
And then it's attached to like a battery pack. And then I think you have like a breathing apparatus in case there's carbon monoxide or methane in the air or whatever. And then you go down this, you cram you into this cage and you go down for ages. And then it was fucking awesome.
That sounds amazing.
It is amazing. They had proper drums behind you, the massive wagon things used to push all the coal in. They're called a dram, which to a Scottish person obviously excites you. Then you realise what it is. You're like, oh, I thought it was going to be whiskey.
I was going to say it's a dram whiskey.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah. And then I was like, oh. But they have the proper ventilation doors that it's to keep closed because as the air comes through and it can ignite shit. And then the train tracks and everything, it was so cool. There's stables down there, my friend. Stables. But there was points where my back hurt so much because I had to duck for so much of it. It was like...
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because some of it was so low and there was loads of really rickety stairs. It was amazing. It was so much fun.
I bet Kerry's just la 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 la.
She didn't have to duck once. She was just walking through like nobody's business. And I was like, you fucking...
I've got headroom.
Yeah. I was like, ow, ow, ow. But there was this kid that came down. And to start with, I was like, oh, God, he's going to annoy me the entire way down. But he was actually quite a nice kid. Because he was like, man's needs a toilet, innit? I'm like, oh.
God.
He's like, man's needs to... And he kept saying man's every sentence. I was like, you're going to do my fucking head in. But actually, when we got all the equipment on, he was like, you right, guys, where are you from? I was like, oh, hello. Yeah, really nice lad. It was so weird. With the henchiest man I've ever seen, with bigger quads than Callum. Yeah. I say
really?
Cal, he had bigger legs than him. Yeah, looking like Jesus Christ. So we did that on Wednesday. And then we were like, right, we're going to do fucking nothing now until your birthday. So I literally have caught up on so much wrestling. It's insane. I'm literally on last week. It's great. I'm so up to date. It's absolutely wonderful. So doing a lot of that. Friday night, all of Keris's mates came over for a birthday, so we had like a bit of a party, a bit of a shindig, and it was lush, absolutely lush, so much fun. They brought so much food and drink round. We actually ran out of alcohol, so we had to get more. So one of her mates' husbands came over as well then to bring more alcohol, and they were here for like 5-6 hours. Really nice. They had tunes on, just all chatting. She had a whale of a time. Saturday, of course, was her birthday. So we had to look after her nephews for a little bit. So I watched them rugby for a little bit, but then we had like a movie night with Sandra Bullock movies and whatnot. So it was quite nice. It's very, very chill. But Sunday, we had another party, this time at her mum's house. And then she surprised her best friend, like her closest, bestest friend ever, couldn't make the night on Friday because she's at engagement party. So that took me a second. Then my brain was like, so she then surprised Keris on Sunday by turning up at her mum's house with her mum. So yeah, it was really nice. And like all the families like were there and stuff. So we just ate loads, drank loads, and we had to walk home because Keris had too much to drink.
Pissed as a fart, I think is what you were going to say there. But...
No, she wasn't. She was just at a point where she was a bit like, fuck, I've drank too much, I can't drive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we walked back. And then I watched a little bit of NFL, but we literally chilled in bed, mate, and chatted for like 3 hours. It was fucking lush. Like you said, we did 2 wonderful interviews, one of them being Annabelle this week, and then next week's one as well. And today I went back to Specsavers I'm there for another 2 weeks. And the vibe I'm getting was everyone was just really lovely. So I think that because I've had the week off, they've gone, fuck, lose, like, because they know I'm going next week. So it was really nice, man. So nice chill day, and then here we are.
You find that when you're leaving a place, you either get 2 attitudes, you either get that, let's see if we can convince him to stay, or there's fuck, this guy, he's leaving us. You're never quite sure what you're gonna get.
I had a bit of the latter before I went away, and now I'm getting the first bit now.
Should be interesting to see what your last day is going to be like.
Yeah,
I just realised I didn't tell you as well. I have an interview for that team leader's job I went for. So
congratulations! When is it?
November 4th. So next Friday.
That's my last day at Specsavers.
So
that's a bit of a telltale sign there, isn't it? But watching wise, like I said, we watched The Net, a 1995 Sandra Bullock film on Netflix. It's really good.
Never heard of
like really good. It's all floppy disks and stuff, and I was like, this like she's a hacker who's a computer hacker.
Yes, I have heard of this. Yes.
Yeah, and then she stumbles across something that, if in the wrong hands, would be deadly, and then people keep chasing her and change her identity. It's amazing. Really enjoyed it. And I watched The Age of Adeline afterwards. Not particularly a film that I would have watched normally, but it's got some stuff in it like, oh fuck, like twists that you're like, oh damn, I did not see that coming. Essentially, it's Ryan Reynolds' wife.
What was her name? Blake Lively.
Yeah. So essentially, she's born in 1908, and she has a car crash on the way to see her daughter, and she drowns and dies. Then snow falls and the lightning hits, and basically it starts her heart again. But because of the moon, it explains it all. But like because of something, she can't age anymore, so she stays like 20 odd or 30 odd, whatever she is. So it's like 2000 and something. She's still the same age. It's good. And Harrison Ford's in it, so you can't really go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong with it.
But yeah, she can't age. So she was born like 1905, and it's like 2000 and something.
But she's still the same age.
Yeah, it's good. It is good. It's not something I would have gone, I fancy that. But then watching it, actually, this is all right.
You find that those are the most surprising things. You're like, fine, if you want to watch it, whatever. And the next thing you know, you're like, oh my God, really? Fuck.
It was really like that story, the interview I gave with Annabelle about Luke.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a classic explanation. That's a classic moment of that. But I started The Boys, Jamie.
Oh yes, fucking love that
show. Watched the first 2 episodes. I was a bit like, first time I wasn't sure, and I watched the second one. I was like, yeah, it's good, but it's kind of frustrating me that I don't know what it is about it. I can't explain it. Like I'm finding it like the arrogance of the hero is a bit like, I still my head in a little bit, to be honest. But
no.
I'll persevere, like, and I'll watch it. But it's just winding me up a little bit at the moment.
By heroes, do you mean the actual
Homelander
heroes?
Okay,
yeah,
Homelander and Translucent in the Deep and that sort of thing.
Oh,
So-
it's a fucking great program. Definitely.
Okay.
And hilarious.
Well, our boys in it, Jamie, I believe. So now we're all caught up. Should we hear from him?
Oh, yes, we definitely should.
All right. Is this thing on? Well, howdy doody, everybody. This is Braden Berry from Say We Can Fly, founder of Stay Cozy Clothing, your one-stop shop for the coziest, most fashionable hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Gosh, Mickey.
That's right, folks. And we're proud to say that we are now sponsoring
The Chronicles of Podcast. Ouch.
Hosted by Tom and Jamie.
Like, you can get 10% off, man. That's right, Shaggy. Just use the special code, The Chronicles, at checkout.
Oh, boys.
Still will always be the greatest advert known to man. Stay Cozy adverts, great. Put the Chronicles in and get yourself 10% off, guys, all right? Because it's definitely fucking worth it. Trust me. But Jamie,
Yes.
I do believe it's time for Callum's Treachings.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Do you want to know something? Callum will be able to tell you in Callum's Treachings.
Is cereal soup?
Ooh.
Here we are again for another edition of Callum's Treachings. And Jamie, shall we get right to the nitty-gritty?
Oh, I think we definitely should get the nittiest of the grittiest.
The boozy woosies, the doozy daisies.
Doozy daisies.
So, Jamie.
Yes, sir.
What is Callum Treaching us this week?
Generally, shoes aren't worn by your feet, they're worn by your socks.
Well, he's not wrong. And people who do wear shoes without wearing socks, you're a heathen and get in the sea.
So sometimes I do, when it's like 15 million degrees outside, I'm like, I ain't wearing socks because my feet will sweat. But
I
then
find
also
it
wearing
hotter.
shoes, your feet will sweat. So, yeah, but all my socks are like winter, basically like thermal. So I'm like, yeah, I'm wearing that shit.
Oh, yeah, you need to get
Or
some
Christmas
normal socks.
based. Yeah, like a normal human. You just get normal socks, mate. Stop
Get
being this
normal
weirdo.
human socks, yeah.
And then mix them all up like Keris does. She
What?
doesn't wear pairs, mate. She does not wear pairs. She looked at me as I said her name as well. I'll let her know to watch the YouTube this week.
It's like you knew that would annoy me, so make sure you point it out.
Yeah,
Like,
100%. Like,
why
she's
can't
gonna fuck.
people match their socks? They comes in pairs. Wear them in pairs.
I wear mine in pairs. I always put mine in pairs. I always have done.
Good.
She
You're
won't.
a normal human. That is a good thing.
Be careful what you say about my missus right now.
Don't care. I'm going to say it. Just match your goddamn socks, people.
But he's got a point. Like, so your feet
Yeah.
wear your slippers, but your socks wear your shoes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good twist. I like that.
It should be like a brand. A brand should go for it, shouldn't they? A brand should be like, I don't know, Adidas. The socks wear the shoes, the feet wear the slippers. Oh, daydream, bad sex.
Your feet don't wear your shoes. Your socks do. So make sure you wear high quality socks like these.
Why? Just quickly go to the Adidas thing. Why did everybody at school always be like, do you know what Adidas stands for? Or daydream about sex? Ha ha ha. You're like, oh, okay. That's it.
No one ever
Because I
said
don't
that
think
in
it
my
does.
school.
So they're not. Oh, they didn't mind. But it was corn
I
inspired.
was going to
feel,
say,
I'm
yeah,
like,
corn was where I'd heard that for the first time. I'd never heard that before.
it's great.
Why
though.
have they written a song about trainers? Oh,
Who the
about
fuck?
sex.
Yeah, who actually worked that out?
I have no
Do you
idea.
know what I mean? Who actually worked that out and went, oh, hang on. Night Queens.
Oh, God.
Never, if, no, everything. Reebok. Really eerie butterflies on Nebworth. So Adidas then is all dirty about sex. Ha! All right, sorry about that.
Weirdly, that one makes sense.
My brain wasn't working fast enough. I was going to make a joke. I was like, right, mate, is amazing. And my brain was like, no, you're not. No, you will not, Tom. You will make them shit. All right? And nobody will laugh, and everyone think you're fucking weird.
I don't know. You got Nebworth in about knocking Reebok, so I fucking loved it. It's not where I saw that going. Makes me wonder if the people at Adidas actually named it that for that. Though.
Do you reckon they did?
I can't help but wonder if that's what. Because how else would you have gotten that from that?
We need to find a backstory and try and find it.
Yeah, it's got to be.
That's it. That's the case.
I think it's got to be. We've got to try and find it.
But anyway, we digress. We move on.
Well.
What else, Jamie, is Callum treating us this week?
Elevators don't have music anymore.
Shit, he's right, you know.
That's weird. Do you reckon American ones do?
Maybe. Well, that's a really good point. You always hear that, there's elevator music. But yeah.
The one and recently in Premier Inn didn't have it. Just goes, doors closing, lift going up.
Why does the lift lady use an overtly sexual voice for that? I've never quite got it. Doors opening.
Did she rub her breasts while saying that? Or
in my head, she does. Yeah.
Do you reckon she had to do that?
Maybe. I want you to record this, love, but I want you to do the sexiest voice possible. Doors closing.
Legs opening. Oh! Going down.
God, you haven't even put that together, have you? Going down.
Going up. Anyway, I know this is like the interview is obviously with a sex expert, but still.
Apparently it's got into our brains this week.
I want to know why they don't have lift music anymore. It always reminds me of Monkey Wrench. Did it do? Did it do? Did it do?
I'm trying to think now when if I've actually ever been in a lift of lift music. It's not really something you pay attention to.
I bet the people that used to do the lifts back in the day, like really expensive hotels, I bet it drives them fucking mental.
Probably.
They probably asleep going like, da 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 fucking hell.
Yeah, because they've got like the people that literally work in a lift, don't they? They don't press the buttons for you. Oh yeah, they must hate it. Probably go to bed at night and just start screaming in their sleep because they can still hear it.
In the sound of the music. Yeah. I'm going to find out as to why they don't have that anymore.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. You've got us really thinking this week, Callum. I like it.
Yeah, it is, doesn't it? Really thinking about it. So finally, Jamie, what is Callum treating us? Is he?
The taller someone is, the more freaked out tall people are by them.
I thought I was fucking tall, but look at you.
Well, it's great because I'm 6'3". Like I find it difficult. I know I've met people taller than me, obviously, but it's like a rarity. So I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like I thought I was tall. Like, but he's so right. It's like holy ass. Like wherever there's a guy I went to uni with who was 6'8". My uncles are 6'8" and 9. They're fucking massive. Just like yeah, I know. I'm like, oh my ass. Just go to match strips. No, like. But it's not. He's not wrong though because I do it.
No, he's not wrong. I had a feeling that was slightly aimed at you. To be fair, I was like, let's see if we can get some stories about Tom being in shock.
But obviously, there's points in my life where, say, I'm not in a restaurant, in a supermarket, and then someone's like, "Excuse me, love, can you get that from top shelf?" And I'm like, "Yes," and the reason why I exist. This is all I was born for, really, is to get items off the top shelf for small people. And they find it funny. No one's not gone, like, what, weird? Like, I like to make people laugh, Jamie. Come on. It's just...
This is true.
That's what I do. It's just... sometimes I go, it's all I'm good for.
You should... One day, you should be in the supermarket. If you see someone really short, be like, excuse me, love, do you fancy getting that on the bottom shelf for me? Just flip reverse the situation and see how they take it.
Oh, because that's it off, couldn't I?
That's very true, yeah.
Bless her.
So yeah, I bet you guys are great when you go shopping. You can reach all the stuff on the top. You can get all the stuff on the bottom without you hurting your back. Dream team.
The only thing is obviously is because like our glasses are in a high cupboard and most of the food is as well. So when I'm home, she's like, "Babe, can you get this down? Babe, can you get that down, please?" But obviously when I'm not here, she's using the bench. But
I was going to say, she get me a little step stool for the kitchen.
Yeah, I'll have to. She's fucking adorable. So yeah, but Callum, you are completely right. I do find it really weird when I see people that are taller than me because, you know, my height, I feel, well, I think like 6'1" like an average maybe, or 5'11", 6 foot like an average.
Like
so I'm 6'3", so obviously I'm above average. And there's people taller than me. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. It's when people are sat down, you're like, hey, mate, like one of my spectators, like, do you want to come and they go, yeah, sure. And they get up and they're like,
just keep going.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. New Sophie Lancaster t-shirt, by the way. Get it where you more retail support. So yeah, nailed it, Cal. You're absolutely spot on.
I just love, you just know the expression as well. I thought I was tall. You just know that's what gets said.
You must be thinking you live in the land of the fucking giants. Or Keris does.
I'm not that bloody short.
I'm like, fucking hell.
I don't even know how tall I am.
Let's find out, won't you?
Yeah.
But that's another great edition of Callum's Treachings. We do love those every single week, Cal. So thank you so much.
Yes, we do.
For not to take a line from Jamie, but to participate in our show. We really do appreciate it massively. So, but every time I have to follow
you do.
Jamie.
Yes, sir.
It's time for Tom's Journal.
Oh, read me.
And welcome to another edition of Tom's Journal. This, Jamie, really made me laugh. And it's a genuine sign in America, okay?
Okay.
Buy one burger for the price of two and receive a second burger absolutely free.
That is brilliant. Do you know some people have read that and thought they're getting a bargain as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because obviously it's 2 for 1, but just written horribly.
Yeah. That's superb. I like that.
This is what I mentioned earlier, James.
Okay,
I mean, man, it sucks having no kids. All I do is whatever I want all the time.
Yeah.
It's fucking wonderful.
It's funny because people who have kids, they hear things like that and they're like, I can't disagree with that. You're absolutely right, but still love having my kids.
I mean, I know everyone says that, you know, you feel the love that you never felt before and like changed your life and everything, but no. I'm just too selfish. I don't want them. Right. You have to forgive me because I'm going to have to read this. This is long, okay? It's really small, but it's about a new addition to the Addams family.
Okay.
So we'll see what you think, okay?
Okay. I mean,
villains in Addams family movies go to really unnecessary lengths to defraud them of the family fortune. These people just give it away on whims all the time. But if I just walked into the house and started wearing their clothes, spending their money, they would start introducing me as cousin intruder and forget there was ever a time I didn't live with them. Gomez, in particular, would enjoy your boldness, cousin intruder. Oh, shit. The Addams family loves and greets every person entering one of their homes. The Addams family adopts or married every person wishing to stay. This is why the Addams family is full of freaks, of course. So what we're saying is, tracing the Addams oh my God, I can't say it properly. Genealogy is damn near impossible. And it's just as likely that no living member of the family is actually a blood relative of the people who originally held the family name. Wait. So what I'm hearing is that Batman is actually an Addams. He most certainly is. I mean, considering if you look at it in the light of a different story, the near actual factual homicidal level of bond and the love the Addams have for each other, the idea that they're all adopted, the way that Bruce is often portrayed as a bit of an aloof, smarmy in private, the possibility that young Bruce might not be wholly appreciative of its extended family eccentricities, of which his parents are the mildest of the bunch. The idea that those two parents are distantly Addams and get gunned down well. Gomez, I came as soon as I heard. Bruce, I told you never to come back. I said you were weird. Gomez, please, my boy, to compliment me when you are so racked with grief. Dear Thomas, dear Marta, so full of life. They fell in front of me while he laughed with mother's pearls.
The fiend, the dishonor cannot stand.
Bruce, and I felt it well up inside me. A black blood welling up.
Gomez, yes, dear boy.
I will be vengeance.
Yes.
I will be the knight.
Yes.
I, Aaron Adams.
Yes.
I am Batman.
Yes, yes, my boy. The rivers were run red with wonderful blood.
Sigh. I'll put the tea on and grab the foils then, shall I, sir?
There's so much to unpack.
So much to process there, isn't
It
there,
really
Jay?
is. I did not expect this Addams Family story to turn into Batman, which was glorious. Your Batman voice was fucking great. Your Gomez voice was fucking great. And that line of "you compliment me when you're so racked with grief" was spot on, Gomez Adams. That was just fucking wonderful.
It's incredible. I was going, oh my God. Like, this is a massive potential right here.
It could work. That is a crossover I never knew I wanted, but I do now.
Or needed, or need to have in your life. I know you'd appreciate it. I've got another one for you as well. It's just totally for Jamie. So
I enjoyed that very much.
I really hope, I don't mean to be, I hope everyone enjoys that. That's what I did, because I put on the voices just to make it more effective.
They were beautiful voices. I really enjoyed them.
So Jamie, could be a YouTube clip. Yeah. If R2 is short for R2D2,
yes,
and Chewie is short for Chewbacca,
yes,
yeah, and Annie is short for Anakin,
yes,
what's Luke short for? A stormtrooper.
I like that. That's funny. Did you even get that?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
I just need to appreciate it. I was like, I have no idea what I'm reading here, but there we are.
In A New Hope, he basically busts into Leia's prison in a stormtrooper outfit, and she looks at him and goes, "Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?"
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
brilliant.
Hopefully Luke will appreciate that as well when he gets around to this episode.
I didn't see where that was going. That was great. I enjoyed that.
I'm going to keep going with the really ridiculous and stupid shit, all right?
Okay.
So we've had the Addams Family. We've had the dad joke. Now we're going for lesser-known knights of the Round Table.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay.
So King Arthur, Sir Lancelot, Sir Galahad, etc., yeah?
Yeah.
So there's quite a few of these. So strap in. The knight who was afraid to fight, surrender. The knight no one believed, surreal. The knight too big to sit at the table, surround. The knight who designed the table, circumference. The undercover knight, surveillance.
Yeah, got determined to get one.
The knight who was never killed in battle, survivor.
Oh.
The knight who exceeded expectations, surpassed.
Yeah.
The knight who showed up unexpectedly, surprise. The knight who overcame obstacles, surmount. The knight who funded the kingdom, surtax. The knight who kept the maps up to date, surveyor. The knight who drank too much, cirrhosis.
Fuck's sake.
The knight who stood in for the king, surrogate. Few more. The knight who stood out among the rest, superb.
Oh,
the knight with the fragile ego, Sir Amic. The knight who performed in 3 rings, Sir Cuss.
Fuck's sake.
The saddest night of all. Sir Rofel. The knight who wasn't needed. Sir Perfilis. And the knight who liked to dance. Sir Prancelot.
That was awesome. That was great.
They were great, weren't they?
I was trying to guess them as you were going. I think I got like 2. They were brilliant.
I like surprise.
The fact I didn't get that one, and it's so obvious. It was Surveyor that I liked.
Oh yeah, Surveyor. Yeah.
That's fucking brilliant.
Oh, let's keep this country rolling. Let's get the ball rolling.
This country rolling.
Jamie, the dog ran off last night. So there I was, walking around the park, shouting his name for 20 minutes. I couldn't find him. My wife said I should look fucking harder. So I shaved my head, got a tattoo, and carried a cricket bat. I still can't find the fucking dog.
So fucking dumb.
Oh, this is so much fun. I'm going to keep going.
Oh.
This is a conversation I'm having with a friend of mine. Actually, that's Frankenstein's monster. Friend, oh, my bad. Puts down the energy drink. Frankenstein, don't sweat it.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, God, that was bad.
I'm going to give you 3 more. I'm going to say, no, I've got 2 more. 2 more, and I'll save the others for next week. A conversation between me and my girlfriend. So, Keris, for example. Now, don't start weird conversations with my dad tonight. Me, fine. Later that evening, me, immediately. Rugs, the coward's carpet.
Coward's carpet.
Phenomenal.
I like that. That's great.
And I'm going to end on this one. Seeing as it's Halloween next week, and this is going to be out. This is going to be out before Halloween. I thought I'd end on this one. I wonder how many times, Jamie, we tell ghost stories and the ghosts around us are like, "I never said that shit. He's not even telling it right."
God, it's so true. Oh my God, you're absolutely right.
And that was another edition of Tom's Journal. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Oh, just out of interest, do you believe in ghosts?
No.
No. I can never decide.
Although, after the conversation with next week's interview, I'm kind of intrigued. But
yeah. I can't help it. There's so many people that claim they've seen ghosts. I feel like there's got to be some truth to it. And it's been going for so many years, people saying it.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a sort of facade for people to make loads of money out of people. That's what makes me like a scam sort of thing. I don't know. But still, we'll talk about it more next week because obviously that's quite relevant to the interview. So shall we bring that piece in?
Oh, we definitely should bring that piece in.
Welcome to the Chronicles of Annabelle Knight. Annabelle is what we'd call a body language expert, a sex expert, dating expert, couples counsellor, celebrity couples counsellor, flirt expert on Love Island. She's the expert on like Good Morning Britain and Loose Women and This Morning and that sort of thing. And she's also a best-selling author.
Basically, what you're trying to say, Mr. Stevens, is she doesn't bloody stop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. This conversation is absolutely superb. Like Annabelle just doesn't hold anything back. Anything she's got to say, she tells us everything. And it's amazing. She tells us at the end, she's never spoken about her life like this in so much detail. And that is amazing to hear that people are willing to sit here and tell us those stories. It's all about why we love this sort of doing these sort of interviews so much. And yeah, Annabelle's amazing. The stories she has, the things she's achieved in her career. Granted, she didn't get to achieve what she always wanted to as a small child, which you'll find out during this, which is the best answer to that question. we have ever received.
Yeah, but she's also a best-selling author, so she's still writing books. She wants to learn more. She's finished film school, and now she's writing movies. She's like, what the fuck? This girl won't stop. She wants to know everything about everything, Jamie.
She really does. I find it really admirable, to be honest, because the fact, she's
100%.
like, oh, I've done that. Okay, what else do I want to do? I want to write a film. Okay, what should I do? Okay, I'll go study this now, and then I'll go study this now. And yeah, I'm just going to do all this, and nothing's stopping her. And I admire it so much. Fair play, Annabelle. You are superb. So, any producers, any directors, anyone listening to this that could help out, please do her film. Just go contact her and get her movie made, because I bet it's fucking phenomenal. She is a #1 bestseller as well with her books. So get involved, Jamie. Yes, sir.
Are there any words of yours at all that are possibly final?
All I'm going to say, as usual, is a massive thank you to this week's guest. Annabelle, you were absolutely amazing. We love talking to you so much. Really appreciate you taking out the time to talk to us. Guys, you're going to love this one. So much fun.
Yeah, Annabelle, thank you so much for taking the time out to chat to us. We really appreciate it. We know how busy you are with everything you do, but you love doing podcasts, so we really appreciate it massively. And guys, check out the major edit towards the end of the interview. Hopefully the outtakes will be released. One of the finest and greatest moments, in my opinion, in TCO pod history. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, interviewing this week, it's Annabelle Knight.
It's too late. Makeup.
Don't worry about it. People are going to be sat here going, well, she's not put makeup on. I'm not bloody watching it.
You would be shocked at what people will send me. I did a podcast a couple of weeks ago and they put some links up to it on social media, and it's a guy from Towie. He's got a massive following. Loads of people are like, well, she could have made an effort. I was like, I turned up. I've done over a decade of study. Is that not enough for you? But no, apparently not. But fine. Hopefully your listeners will be a little bit kinder.
I was going to say, well, if any of our listeners say that, we don't want you listening to our show anymore. So go away.
Exactly.
I like it. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly. Can you, Tom?
Absolutely spot on.
Okay, perfect.
Annabelle, thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate it massively.
No, my pleasure. I love doing podcasts. I would do this all day, every day if I could.
So would we,
I mean, looking at your website and everything you do, I mean, you've got time to even sit down.
Oh my God, no, that's just like a decade's worth of stuff. It just looks busy because it's taken me 10 years to do it.
Oh, fair. I mean, we'll get into the nitty gritty anyway, so it's all written out beautifully here. What tends to happen is Jamie will do a nice introduction, lead you into a nice false sense of security, so you feel calm, you feel relaxed, you feel happy to be here. And then what we're going to do is bombard the living goddamn hell out of you with questions. How does that sound?
Okay, that sounds great. I love this.
Perfect. Wonderful.
Oh, love the enthusiasm.
Strap in.
Okay. Or strap on in my case.
Oh, well, that... We're off to a flyer.
You can use that in the promo.
Right, let me do my little intro. Ladies and gentlemen, today we bring you another wonderful guest. Today's guest has dedicated her life and career to helping people in those most important and personal moments of life. Today's guest is an expert in relationships, dating, sex, and even body language. So let's see what she thinks of us two by the end of this conversation, eh? She's been seen on TV shows like This Morning, Loose Women, Big Brother's Bit on the Side, Katie Price's My Crazy Life, and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the Chronicles of Annabelle Knight.
Oh my goodness, what an introduction. I love it. Thank you.
Yes. See, told you. Lure you in.
Yeah, exactly.
I can feel myself settling into that false sense of security already.
Jamie, it's working. I'm joking.
Yes.
But I think that the most important question that anybody needs to ask these days anyway was, how was your pandemic season? How was the last... I mean, I know it's still around, but how have the last 2 years been for you?
mean, I loved it. I'm a massive introvert, and I just had my garden done like a few months before, like the summer before. So it was an absolutely gorgeous summer. And I'd got this like brand new decked garden and lots of wine. And I wrote a book and I enrolled in film school. So I had quite a productive lockdown. And more to the point, my husband works away quite a lot out of the country, works in film. but that all stopped. So we had like a second honeymoon. It was like 3 months of just me and him, and it was great. I wish I could say like everyone else, oh, it was awful, I really didn't like it, but I did have a good time, I'm afraid.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Although I genuinely thought you were going to say, well, my husband was away working, so I basically sat in the garden and got pissed the entire time on my own. It was great.
The second part of that statement is very true. He was just doing it with me.
Phenomenal. No, we like to have positive responses to that, though, because, the world was very doom and gloom. So it's nice to hear people having positive outcomes from it. I know,
don't get me wrong. By the time the second one came down, when it was the winter, I had a pretty rubbish time, but the summer one was pretty good.
I had to sit in the house and get pissed on the second one.
Yeah, same.
Just at that garden at the window, like, oh, if only I could come and sit out on you.
Staring at the rain and the snow and the bleak outer world.
Before we get started with the other questions, I do have a request that's been made of me by former guest and friend of the show, Jess Wilde. She wanted me to tell you to say hello and that she misses you.
Oh, Jess! Jess and I used to do our own podcast together many, many moons ago, called Sex and Other Stuff, and I believe the first season is still out there. I'm not plugging my old podcast on yours. I'm so sorry. That's terrible form. But
not at all.
Jess and I have known each other for years and years and years, really long time, and she's absolutely fantastic.
We loved talking to Jess. She was so much fun.
She's great. She's just a barrel of laughs 24/7. She's wonderful.
But I messaged her and I said, we're talking to Annabelle Knight, a friend. She was like, oh my God, say hello, I miss her so much.
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to message her. I'm just going to write a post-it first, though, because my memory is so bad. There we go, look. She's on the post-it.
Yeah.
Love it.
You will get a message. No, honestly, my memory's so bad. I have to be like hyper organized all the time, to the point where everyone thinks I'm like this wonderful person who's really caring, who remembers birthdays and Christmases and kids' events. And I don't. I just put everything in my phone the second someone tells me. So my life is just a constant reminder popping up on my screen.
I mean, if it works, why not?
Exactly.
But take us back, Annabelle. What did young Miss Knight want to be when she was growing up? Was it always this line of work, or was it spaceman?
No.
Something? Yeah.
I had quite a specific career goal when I was younger, and that was to be a leading actress in Emmerdale, which was my favourite soap when I was a kid. It was actually my favourite TV show, full stop. I loved Emmerdale more than anything else, and I just wanted to, to act in it, and that was it. That was my dream. So much so that they actually did a reality show called Soap Star Superstar when I was about 12, and I begged my mum. It's like an open audition, like X Factor, but for Emmerdale's Newest Family. And oh my goodness, I dragged my mum there. We went. I had prepared nothing. I didn't know how to act. So when this 12-year-old stepped onto the stage, I just froze and went, "How could you?" And that was my audition, and it was next. So yeah, I wanted to act in Emmerdale is the answer to that question.
I mean, with
I remember it so clearly. I remember the producer or the judge at the time looking at me just like, and what comes after that? And I was like, nothing. So I just repeated, "How could you?" again, but with more vim. And yeah, it didn't work either
what
time.
Comes next?
It just got worse.
Marlon. How could you, Marlon? Literally the only Emmerdale character I can remember the name of.
To bring in another character, I just went completely rogue.
That's absolutely amazing. I really hope there's footage of that somewhere. We need to find it.
I've actually got embarrassed telling that story, so I'm going to have to derobe because I've got too warm.
You must. I mean, you must know some people in there now, surely.
I knew someone in there then. Like one of my friends at primary school, her dad was in it and is still in it, I believe, to this day. And they lived in our village. And I was like, I still don't believe in nepotism. I don't like kind of calling in favors and abusing friendships for your personal gain. I mean, not saying that if I had done that, I would have been starring in Emmerdale, but I thought I can do this by myself. And yeah, I couldn't do it at all.
Can I just walk past? Can I just walk past something while it's filming? Just in the background, just walking by.
Let me just
I was
pass the
Emmerdale.
Woolpack. I've literally
That was what it's
extended
called.
my Emmerdale knowledge now with Woolpack and Marlon.
Well,
That's my knowledge
actually,
gone.
after my big break broke, I jumped ship, and now I'm a Coronation Street fan. So never watched another episode since.
Just the memories are too painful.
I know, it's too much. It's too much. I can't do it.
I've got to admit, that is the best answer I've ever had to that question. But your line of work is very unique in what you do. So where did that desire to want to learn more about humans and the way we behave come from then? Because how do you go from wanting to be an Emmerdale to that? That's
so it's kind of twofold. My granddad always read the Sun newspaper, and I used to go straight to the Dear Deirdre section when I was younger, and I was fascinated by the questions and even more so by the answers. And then when I got a little bit older and like kind of started buying magazines and things, I really got into Tracy Cox's Agony Aunt column. And she was kind of like my inspiration. And when I met her, because we both have a sex toy range out with the same company, and I met her through that company, I was just a mess. I couldn't get my words out. It was like, she was like she was so lovely and so gracious and didn't make me feel like the biggest idiot on the face of the planet. But it was just such a like career, like brilliant moment for me, because I've worshipped her since I was about 14.
That's amazing. That is incredible. I'm not gonna lie, again, you're baffling. You're blowing my mind with these answers. I never thought you'd say the Agony Aunt pages in the Sun newspaper.
Yeah, that's where I became interested in kind of a cross section of humanity, because the problems were always so varied. And you know, in my young brain, wow, like none of these apply to me. What other problems are out there? So yeah, that's where I became interested in kind of humans.
I like that though. So what was it that you wanted to sink your teeth into first? Because obviously we've said you're an expert in sex, relationships, body language. Where did it start? Where was that first thing you wanted to sink your teeth into and learn about?
Oh goodness, that's a really good question. I think the first thing I was interested in, it definitely was the kind of relationship side of it. It was the couples coaching and the counselling, and kind of finding out more about how 2 or 3 or sometimes more people form a romantic relationship, and not only how they form it, but how they maintain it and how they keep it. And I think the maintenance and the keeping of the relationship is where a lot of people actually find that they struggle. And especially kind of historically, societally, it's been like you meet someone, you marry them, and if you marry them, you don't split up, you stay together. And there's still evidence of that trickle down into kind of to the psyche of couples of today, which is brilliant in one respect, because it means people are really wanting to work on their relationships. But it's kind of difficult on the flip side, because sometimes people stay with the wrong person. So I like the element of my job that is helping those people that can work on it to work on it and make a success out of their relationship, and give them the tools. Like I always say, my job is to talk myself out of a job. Like I don't want to be needed by couples after a certain amount of time. But ultimately, if 2 people aren't right for each other and they've explored every avenue, it's to help them navigate a separation that isn't traumatic and damaging to them in the long run.
I just like the way you word it. You talk. Basically, your job is to make sure you don't need a job. I like that.
It's a really stupid thing to do to yourself, but yeah, it is.
So all the other things, was that a case of, oh, that could help me in this line of work, or is it you just learning about these sort of things? That takes my interest.
It's really difficult to kind of pinpoint. Like, I never ever kind of woke up and was like, oh, and now I want to be an author, or now I want to do this, or now I want to do that. It's just kind of how my career has kind of naturally evolved. And then through like the relationship stuff and the coaching, you end up doing like a little bit for magazines or newspapers here and there, and then you get a little bit of a name for yourself, so you get a bit more demand, and then money starts getting involved. And I don't want to I'm not good at confrontation or finances or anything like that, so I found an agent, and they put me in front of kind of TV producers and radio producers and different people, and then your career just kind of grows. Kind of the more opportunities you get, or the more opportunities to meet people you get. And there's been instances where, when I was on This Morning, one of the runners ended up being an assistant producer on Big Brother years down the line, and remembered me from being in the green room with her. We were sharing the last bag of crisps, and then just Googled me and like found me and got in touch. And that's how I ended up going for my first meeting for Big Brother, for Big Brother, because I met this woman on This Morning like 5 or 6 years before. So it's a really small world, like the TV and radio industry, and it's kind of a hard one to get in, but once you've kind of got a foot in the door and you've met people, it just kind of evolves from there.
What's that saying? It's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Yes, but it's getting them to know people that's the really difficult part. Like, if you have to have a super thick skin in this industry, because for every yes I've ever had, I've probably had 100 no's off, like surrounding that. So it's not always easy at all.
But saying that, with the what you know, you have qualifications in so many different things: couples counselling, life coaching, a diploma in psychosexual therapy. First off, what on earth is psychosexual therapy?
You're not the first person to ask that. So psychosexual therapy is essentially like a talking therapy that helps you connect your psychological, your sexual, your emotional, and your physical states. So you're better equipped to kind of think about, talk about, and then discover why you may have issues or problems surrounding certain areas.
There we go. I find this stuff sort of absolutely fascinating. I really do.
It is. It's like the studying side of that is one of my favourite courses and qualifications I've ever got.
This might be a really stupid question, and if it is, I'm really sorry, but I'm trying to. The whole body language side of things, because I imagine you'd be sat there going, "Oh yes, he's not really talking very much. He's talking quite a lot. Interesting." But you know how people say like crossing arms is defensive, like people are like, "Oh, he's crossed his arms. Okay, he's obviously trying to protect himself or whatever." But I find it as like a comfort thing. So like, who sort of defined that this is defensive straight away?
Well, the thing is, there's not just, when it comes to body language, it's not just like one action equates to one like subliminal message. It's your entire body language. So for example, if you were talking to me and you were crossing your arms, but I can see that you're kind of leaning in and you're making good eye contact, I would say that is an enthusiastic stance, that's someone who is comfortable, but either maybe they're a little cold, maybe this is habitual, and maybe this means nothing at all. However, if you were avoiding eye contact with me and kind of leaning back and with retracting, I would say that person feels uncomfortable, and they are creating a physical barrier between themselves and the person that's making them feel uncomfortable. So it's not just one action, it means one thing. It's the kind of entirety of what your physical being's doing, but also things like the pitch and the tone of your voice as well. It's everything that you use to communicate that aren't the actual words coming out of your mouth.
Yeah. My brain just went. And then I was like, incredible. Because obviously, I think there's one with how you cross your legs as well. I think my other half was saying, she's like, "Oh, but I like to cross my legs with right over my left. It's just more comfortable." People say that if you do that, then it's like you're more comfortable. Whereas if you do left over right and you're facing away, like you're not interested.
I mean, again, what's the rest of the body doing? Because there's a lot more to you than just your two legs.
Yeah. That'd be very weird if just legs sat there. Like, what? Yeah. It's just legs there. What's going on? Where's the rest of you?
I find body language stuff so fascinating because it's amazing how much you can tell about someone from body language. And I've had someone say to me before, like, I can't remember the exact example. They pointed someone out and I was like, am I? And then the more you think about it, like, yeah, I guess I kind of am. How could you tell that? What? Huh? It's really baffling.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are far more attuned to reading body language than they give themselves credit for. It is like we kind of have a ballpark figure as it's more than half of our overall communication body language is attributed to. So if we were kind of as a species naturally unable to read body language, we'd all be misunderstanding each other all the time, and we're just not. We call it thin slicing. So it's when you get a tiny little snippet of visual information of someone, in this case their body language, and you have a gut reaction to that, and that's your thin slicing mechanism for understanding humanity and being able to kind of find your place and fit into the world and communicate effectively.
A little bit I mean, I think dating apps are kind of killing that slightly now, aren't they? Because obviously everyone's now I know the pandemic did not help at all, but everyone's meeting online. So now obviously you can misconstrue messages. You can take messages however.
Yeah, absolutely. I to completely agree. You have no body language to go off. You have no tone in the voice. You have no none of the kind of, I hate to use the word normal, but the usual ways we read someone and we create a rapport and see if we like them. All of those have kind of been taken away, and it's become very sterile and very like you kind of use a dating app in the same way you would shop for like a pair of shoes. It's just surface. Do I like this or don't I? And there's so much more when it comes to the information about that person that we're not able to absorb. So it is I mean, it's difficult to date and it's difficult to be dated. Like both sides of the coin suffer from this.
No, I absolutely agree with you. And I think that with the way that being now, I'm trying to word this right without sounding like an absolute arsehole. Now when we do go out and stuff, people don't tend to mingle anymore, do they really? People are like, oh, you're weird. Why are you doing this? Why are you getting close to me? Why do you want to speak to me, etc.? Do you agree with that, or am I absolutely losing my mind now?
Well, I'm so introverted I barely leave my house, so I don't know what people are doing in the world. No, I totally can understand and appreciate what you're saying. Like, I mean, aside from anything, A, we're out of practice, and B, for 2.5 years we've been told to keep our distance. So it's kind of about breaking that habit and getting back into the swing of things and being understanding of those that still want to keep their distance for whatever reason. I have a friend with an autoimmune disease, so like I have not hugged him in 3 years because he just will continue to social distance, and that's totally up to him. So like it's kind of understanding and respecting people who might be in that camp, and then also on the very other side of it going, okay, well, there are some people that have been desperate for a hug for 2 years. They're going to hug you kind of regardless. So it's about, I guess it's about finding your balance and re-finding your people when you're out and about.
It's crazy how the more you think about it, the more we talk about this, like how these past few years have affected people and the way they behave around other people. And some for the better, because like you say, you read, oh, I miss this person, I need a hug. And then there's other people like, whoa, Nelly, no thank you.
Yeah, no, not anymore.
So hold on, there we go. I lost my questions. There we go, found it. You've done a lot of stuff in the media, as we said, appearing on TV, etc. But before we get into that sort of stuff, what did you do beforehand to get to that point? Were you like a practicing couples counsellor?
No, I mean, before I decided that this is what I wanted to do, I was an admin assistant in an architect's practice in Bristol. That's what I did. And then I kind of started doing a bit of presenting work, just using like this website called Star Now, which is like an online kind of Tinder for actresses, extras, models, whatever. And I just got I kept getting a few little bits here and there, and I was just taking holiday days so I could go and do these jobs. And then eventually the balance kind of tipped and I couldn't stay like in my job anymore, so I decided just to move to London and give it a go and see what happens. So I moved with my friend and we moved down to London together, and I stayed there for 4.5-5 years, and then I moved back up north.
I love the fact you took a gamble on to follow your passions though. I love those sort of stories. It's like, do you know what, let's do it. Let's pack up.
I was, to be honest, I was so bored doing what I was doing, and I was sick of compromising constantly. But the compromise was kind of with myself, but it was also damaging myself, because the thing I wanted, which was to be self-employed and go and be a presenter and work in TV and radio, that the thing that I wanted, I was not letting myself do, because I felt I needed to keep my 9 to 5, because that was secure and that was security. So I think for the first year, I didn't spend any of the money I ever earned, like when I was taking holidays and going and doing bits and pieces. I just banked all of that, kept it in a savings account, so that when I moved to London, I'd got like 3 months worth of money, so that I could, well, what I thought was 3 months, like generously 3 months, it actually turned out to be like 3 weeks. But I had good intentions with it.
So you've said you did like extra work and all that sort of stuff, but how is it you got your foot into the door regarding the work you do now in TV?
So I answered a casting call for a very vague casting call for a company that was not named. It just said they wanted an in-house presenter to put kind of instructional videos on the company's website so customers could see how you use the products. So I went, and it was a sex toy company, and I was like, okay, this is fine. I can deal with this. Like, I know what sex toys are. I've seen Sex and the City. So I just did that. And then I ended up, as their company kind of grew, they were getting mentions in magazines and stuff, and they wanted like an ambassador, so to speak. So I kind of like that, I osmosed that role, and then found that people were asking me questions that I wasn't qualified to know the answers to. I mean, I could use Google as best as the next person, but didn't have any qualifications to my name. So that's when I started seriously thinking, right, okay, general presenting isn't really working out. There are like 1,000 people that work longer hours for less money than you, that are more attractive and actually turn up on time. So you need a niche. So I decided, like, as this opportunity had been presented to me, and it was always something that I'd been interested in the past, I like just decided to jump in with both feet and take it on board. So that's when I started the couples counselling qualifications. And it took, I've been doing this for well over a decade now, and I still am like, if there's another qualification that I can do that will just be another string to my bow, I'll either seriously consider doing it or I'll do it, because you can never know. There's just always something to learn. You can never know it all.
I mean, do you ever have any time to like eat or breathe or live or with everything that you do? Yeah,
so I like soup, because you can just carry it. Right now, I'm joking. It doesn't actually take that much time. Like I'm kind of. That question always makes me go, well, I don't ever feel like I'm manically busy. I don't take on more than I can cope with. And I guess because I like it so much, it never really feels like work. Like, I never ever think, I can't be bothered to do this, or it never feels like a drag. I turn my computer on at 8:30 in the morning, and I'm here till like 8:30 at night. But if at 2:00 in the afternoon I decide that I need to watch Friends for a couple of hours, I don't beat myself up about that. I'm like, I work really hard when I'm in the working hard mood, but I also can rest really well if I don't feel like doing it. And I think, societally, we're kind of discouraged from the rest and the kind of giving yourself a bit of time off, because if you're not at work, you should be, I don't know, doing the dishwasher or cleaning the bathrooms. There's always something to do, whereas there is always something to do. But if that thing you need to do is have a bit of a rest, that's still just as valid. And I'm quite good at not beating myself up for not being productive if I have an off day.
And I think it's because I was reading through your website. I was like, right here, works in writes for newspapers, writes for magazines, obviously former podcaster, working at Love Honey, doing the couples counselling, celebrity couples working on Love Island as the Flirt
Expert. Love Island was so much fun. That was like, my dream job when I got that call. I mean, because that was like 2 weeks of a decision from the initial meeting. And every day I was like, because I never get excited about potential jobs. I'm always like I don't have it to have it. Like I have been on the train before, driving to film for like a new Channel 4 series. And then I got a call from my agent as I was literally on the train halfway to do this job. They've decided to go with someone from Towie, actually. Oh, good. Okay. So
no.
and I learned my lesson. I don't ever really say anything about anything until I'm doing it, because it can all change in the blink of an eye.
I'm amazed you have any time for Towie from these experiences that keep happening to you linked to Towie.
I know. Towie's the next stop. Actually, I'm desperate to go on Towie. I think I could really sort them all out.
Yeah.
It could really help.
Wouldn't it be some sort, like, in a good way, be some sort of spoiler for Love Island? Because you're like, well, this person obviously is into that person because of the way they're doing this and everything else, the way they're looking at them. But then they're like this person as well because of this reason.
That's exactly. I mean, just stop because you're going to take my job from me.
She likes his job, Tom. Come on.
Yeah, I definitely went with the with the way I described that. I think you're safe.
You were better than you think.
Well, I appreciate that massively.
So I'll be honest, I'll hold my hands up. I don't watch Love Island. So what exactly is the Flirt Expert? Do you literally just watch the show and go, I reckon
I know.
she's into him?
It's like, I wish I didn't like it. And every year it comes around, because I've never been paid to work on Love Island before until this season. Every year it comes around, I have to watch it because magazines and newspapers, if anything happens, they want professional comment on it. And if I haven't watched it, I just lose a load of work because it's massive when it's out. Every year when it starts, the first episode, I'm like, I can't believe I have to watch this trash for work. The second episode comes out and I'm like, oh, this is terrible. My life is awful. What a waste of time. And then the third episode comes out. I'm like, shh, everybody, it's starting. So I've been like hooked. Every year it's the same story. I love watching it. And this year I got paid to watch it and to talk about them all. And it was just fantastic. But very sad story. I was supposed to be going to the final viewing and the after party and everything. And I was sick, so I couldn't go. So I had to watch it all just in my pajamas on my own in my house I had a herbal tea, and people were sending me pictures of them with champagne and things. I was just so sad.
I was half expecting you to say, and then they invited someone from Towie instead.
It's like that probably would have happened. Towie, tentpole talent, they call it, and it's just, I love it. I do love them all, and I wish every single person who's ever been on Towie all the best. But if you could just stop taking my jobs, that would be brilliant.
A friend of mine, he lives with he's with his other half, and he is like a gamer, doesn't really do TV, etc. Well, not reality shows anyway. But he was telling me this story. He's just reading his book, happily sat there while he's in the house watching Love Island, and he was just happy, and he noticed he did this. So why is he with her? What's he doing with him, Gene? But can't stand it at all, can't watch it, but all of a sudden start giving.
We're all fascinated by human behavior, and if someone does something that we wouldn't do, we want to know why. Like, which one of us is normal here? What's the right thing to do? Even though there's no real answer to that, it's just it's natural curiosity, and it's our voyeuristic nature that we all deny we have, but we do. Everyone has a little bit running through them.
I think that is why these sorts of shows are so successful, though, because as humans, we're nosy as fuck. We love to watch people, and we like to see what we would do in that situation. So the one program I will never understand why it exists, Tom watches it, is Gogglebox. Why are you watching people watch TV? But it's so popular because, people just love watching people do things.
Yeah. There's also something really kind of wholesome and comforting about Gogglebox. It's a bit in the Bake Off category. It's just relaxing, guilt-free. It's nice.
Yeah, and they say some really funny stuff. It's just, when you get some Northerners in there, you know you're for a great time.
My problem with reality TV, when it gets to a certain level, is it stops becoming about the reality, and a part of it is what the contestants or the people on it, they know what they can get from it, like minor celebrity. They think they might be the next Scarlett Moffat or the next Mark Wright or whatever, and it loses a little bit of its kind of genuine charm after a while. That's not to say everyone who's on it does that. It's just occasionally you can hear the sound bites being said rather than the natural kind of conversation. So that's where it falls slightly down for me.
I agree with you massively there. I think most of Love Island is that they have a lot of Instagram followers. Are they?
Yeah, I mean, they're all the same. Like producers will want some people on there that have a big following because it's some hardcore fans that are going to, tweet about the show and publicize it and watch it and be involved with it. And then some people don't have social media and they gain a following from it. So I think sometimes with reality TV you can't win because you can't please everyone. And I think when shows start to try and do that, then they lose what made them special in the first place.
Yeah, I know.
Nailed it. Yeah.
So I was looking at all the TV shows you've been on, like The Wright Stuff, Loose Women This Morning, all this sort of stuff. Is this a case of your agent gets in touch, they want someone to talk about the topic of the day? Will you go on and do it? Is it that sort of thing?
Yeah, pretty much. It's the same with radio bookings or anything that's kind of topical. If I'm applicable for a segment they're doing, they'll ask at my availability. I had something the other day for Good Morning Britain, and I couldn't do it. Because I was babysitting my godson, and which is fine. I had a lovely time. Didn't want to strangle him at all.
She says,
no, it was fine. But sometimes you can't do it, and I was really gutted because I've never done Good Morning Britain, or is it called Good Morning Britain? It's really bad. GMB,
yeah.
Great Morning Britain. Why stop at good?
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't do it, and I was gutted because it's a bit of a you snooze you lose, and whoever did step into that role will have them met the producers and everyone there, and they'll be their main point of contact. So I was a bit sad I couldn't do that, but I'm a big believer in the universe, so I just wasn't meant to do it.
Exactly, and something else will definitely come along at some stage. Like everything happens for a reason, Annabelle.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You'll be fine. But what I do want to ask actually is obviously because you do stuff for print as well, like magazines and newspapers, etc. A lot of stuff's now going digital. So I imagine you just write for the digital side rather than the actual paper side itself.
If you get something in print, it's kind of, I feel like it's a much not bigger deal, but I always go out and buy it. Whereas if it's online, unless someone sends me the link, I don't even know it's happened because it's like, you just kind of gets lost in, unless an article catches fire or you're talking about something really controversial, it can get lost in, because it's constantly being updated. Like the news is 24/7. So if it's in a paper, that paper's there for what used to seem like, it's only a day. Whereas now that's like an eternity in the world of news.
Yeah, I mean, the print industry is dying a little bit though, isn't it? Because obviously everything is now digital, so it's a bit sad,
well,
really.
I mean, I used to have a full-page weekly spread in Now magazine doing an Agni Aunt column, and that magazine didn't survive. So just another one of those things.
It's a shame, really, because we were talking to a gentleman a couple of weeks ago who was an editor in a magazine, and he was saying, like, unless it's real niche, I believe his example was Caravan Weekly, it's hard to survive now in this industry because everything's digital. You want to know something, Google, job done, there you go, don't need to read.
You know yourself how, when you're surfing the internet and you're looking at news sites, most of us don't read an entire article. Like when we write stuff, we write it to the first third, because if you've managed to keep someone's attention after that, they'll probably read the whole thing. But for a lot of people, they'll read the headline, kind of top line of it, and then they'll have garnered enough information from that source and maybe a couple of other things they've read to go, okay, I know about that. Next. So it's really difficult to keep people's attention now. It's I don't know what the kind of long-term future holds for us, because our attention spans are getting shorter.
Oh, 100. I think, and obviously technology, the way technology is going, it's almost like a band drops a song or an album and they go, brilliant, what's next? I want the next thing now. Like drop that again. Okay, I want it more like TikTok. Obviously, they're like 30 seconds to a minute, aren't they? And everyone just loves it. But they won't remember what they've watched 5-10 minutes ago. It's crazy.
Or even 5 or 10 seconds ago, because you're just focusing on the next thing. It's always about the next thing.
Absolutely. And saying that with like only reading the top third, the amount of times I've seen you would go say something's been shared on Facebook, you look in the comments, it's like, I've just come to the comments to see if people say what it's about because I can't be bothered to read past the headline. Like,
it's so true.
Crazy.
I did the same thing on Twitter today. Like, I just kind of read the first line of it and thought, I wonder what people are saying about this. Again, that humanistic, voyeuristic kind of what's everyone else think?
we're a very interesting species, aren't we, humans? The more you think about it. So, speaking of interesting humans, the other thing regarding your TV work I wanted to ask about was your work with Katie Price on My Crazy Life.
Yeah.
That must have been a very surreal conversation from your agent.
Well, actually, at the time, my agent was Katie Price's brother. So I didn't ever express any interest I only did 2 series of all of her shows. I never ever said, like, I want to go on the show. But the producers were saying, I think we should have some kind of like chat with a professional, with Kate and her partner at the time, going through some drama. And Danny, my agent, was like, I think I know the perfect person. So he just messaged me and said, do you want to go on Kate's show? And I was like, yeah, why not? What's it pay? I haven't got anything else on. This is great. And we filmed it in Brighton in this really nice hotel, and it was lovely. It's really good. But that was the second time I'd met her. Well, the second time I'd met her, it was probably the first time she'd met me, because the first time was actually just in a room full of people at a magazine party, and I got to go up and just say, oh, hi, your brother's my agent. And she's like, all right, that's lovely. And like TikTok, I was next to
Yeah.
So who was that, Kate? I have no idea. No.
Yeah, exactly.
So what exactly did you do on the show? Because
my official title was her relationship guru. So I just was kind of I think in terms of the show, I was a vehicle for Kate to say the drama, like what was going on with herself, because if I wasn't there, it'd just be her talking in a room to herself, so it'd look a bit crazy. So I was just a kind of a sounding board for what was going on, so to kind of invite the viewers and her fans into her world a little bit more.
I just, when I was going through all the things you've done, that one just stood out to me. I was like, that must have been an experience.
Do you know what it was? Because afterwards, after we finished filming, we had a drink in the kind of suite we'd been filming in, and she started FaceTiming. I don't know who it was. Like, it wasn't a famous I don't think it was a famous person, but it was someone she'd kind of been seeing on the side. And I was like, hold on, we've just been filming about, he was never mentioned. And we had this like weird FaceTime afterwards. And I was like, she's so much fun. She's really funny. But I don't know how anyone keeps up with her, because I went home and I slept so well that night. I was
I can imagine, to be fair.
She's just so, like, at the time as well, like she's so famous. Like, you don't really appreciate how much of a famous face she is until you're kind of around it, because there was so many people in the hotel that were just kind of hanging around to catch a glimpse. And it really made me go, I'm really glad I'm not famous, because that's, you can't go to the toilet without someone asking for a selfie and stuff. It's just like, hold on, I need a wee. Let me go.
Bear with.
Yeah, bear with.
Even celebrities need to wee, goddammit.
Oh, bless them. I'm going to start that movement.
I was quite curious by this, and tell me to piss off if you don't want to answer whatever. Because of your knowledge and expertise in what you do, did you find it, because you said you have a husband, did you find it quite hard to date yourself because of, were you looking out for those signals, etc., and you knew what was going on?
Yes and no. Like, you can be an expert in love but still be an idiot in love as well, at the same time. And in my earlier days, I dated some frogs. I was never really looking for a relationship, to be honest, until I met Matt. And I lived in London and I was pretty poor. I'd got to eat, so I did go on dates. But yeah, I wasn't really looking for, I was kind of a let's see what happens kind of person. Like if I had a nice time chatting to someone, then I thought, oh, why not? Well, like, what's the worst that can happen? And then I ended up meeting Matt through my friend from school was dating one of his friends, and she met him and said, oh my God, you need to meet my friend Annabelle. You'd get on like a house on fire. And we did.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I love it.
I was going to say, I was going to say something quite similar to Tom on that one when we were talking about body language and stuff like that. Like, imagine you're a nightmare in arguments because someone does something, they're like, nah, you folded your arm to the left slightly, you're lying.
I don't really like. We don't argue, we definitely disagree, but there's like we learn what is called effective arguing, so it's less shouting and more communicating. I've got to say we are very good at that side of things. Don't get me wrong, if I've had a few drinks and the dishwasher's not stacked properly, which makes me sound like a 1950s nightmare housewife, but honestly, how hard is it? It's like, why are there 3 plates in the dishwasher and why is it on? Like, I mean, I can't moan too much, but anyway, that is enough to give me a heart attack. And that, and the lights being left on, and the chairs not being tucked under the table, I'm really easy to live with.
As long as everything is done my way, everything's fine.
I know, I'm working on that. I'm working on it, but I do have high standards.
Sounds very familiar. The dishwasher thing.
He's quite good at lowering them with a bottle of wine, though. He's just like, here you go. Here's your red drink, wife.
Here's your happy juice. Go sit down. Go watch Love Island.
A bit more.
No, he's really good. We've got a really good relationship, and we get on like a house on fire, and we are both. I think we're just quite grown up about things, which sounds very boring, but. Getting on, life's too short for shouting.
Agreed.
Exactly. But what I admire about you and what you do is the fact that you've basically dedicated your life to helping others. Essentially, it's what you've been helping them in that aspect of life that a lot of people don't feel very comfortable talking about.
Yeah.
But how do you get people to open up and talk about things? Because I know you've dealt with celebrities as well.
Incredibly easy. Once people know and appreciate and understand that you are a safe space, and that, because quite a lot of people start with, oh, what's the like most mental thing you've ever heard, because they want to hear the like worst thing that could possibly be said, so they know that their problem is like way lower. And it's once they realize that that there's pretty much, I would like to think, nothing I haven't heard, and if I haven't heard it, I'm not in a position to judge. I want to help someone. Judgment just creates a barrier, and no one gets anything they want if there's a barrier in the way. So I never really have too much of a problem, or never have historically, touch wood, with people opening up. I think people want to talk. They want their problems solved, and once they know that you could do that for them, they're happy to talk to you.
That's good to hear, because it's definitely known, let's be honest, in culture historically, that manly men, we don't talk about feelings. So, it's good that you're not having that experience, and people are just opening up to you, and they're happy to talk about these things.
The only slight problem I do get is that someone will create a social media account in order to find the courage to, like, an anonymous account. And sometimes people do that to kind of troll you, and sometimes it's people who want help. And because I've had quite bad experiences with that in the past, I now just, like, if you haven't got a picture and some followers and that I can see you're a real human, I find it really difficult to, it's almost like a self-preservation on my part. And there is a part of me that thinks, well, actually, you should probably just put that aside and try and help everybody. But the fact of the matter is, I don't want to put myself in a position where people get kind of nasty or aggressive, and it's the people you least think. Like, a lot of really religious people hate what I do, like really hate it, to the point where they will send me some really like awful things. I'm like, you're supposed to be kind, like, come on. But yeah, it really kind of riles a certain set of people or a certain type of person.
Bonkers. What?
Weird, yeah.
I mean, I think so, but each to their own.
How dare you try and help people, Annabelle? How dare
I know.
you?
I feel really like, oh goodness, I just crawl into a hole and drink my red drink, and that'll be it.
You're also a #1 bestseller, Annabelle. You're also an author.
Oh yes, behind me,
So,
my babies.
Obviously, The Endless Autumn is obviously what I'm talking about. Is your first novel, and you've written Chasing Clouds, which I believe is out now.
Chasing Clouds is out now, but I just had another one published. Called The Matchmaker's Match. So that just came out.
Oh, massive congrats. That's huge.
I know, and this conversation has reminded me I need to update my website. So website 2 is now on my post.
So what exactly are your books about?
So they're all fiction. They're all kind of romance novels. The first one, The Endless Autumn, is definitely kind of a bit more erotica than romance. And then they gradually kind of, they're still erotically charged, but they're more kind of women's fiction and romance in that direction, because I think the first one, I definitely got some reviews that were like, really enjoyed the book, but couldn't read some of the sex scenes because it's set in like a sex party, brothel, auction house, and there's a lot of kind of trading of people and fantasy exploration, which just goes to show how kind of far removed from the regular person I am with what I do for a living, because I thought it was pretty tame.
But people will happily watch serial killer documentaries. People get murdered and all that crap. But then, I can't do a bit of sex. I
always think about, can you remember the Chris Brown music video with Lil Dicky, where they swap, it's called like Freaky Friday or something like that, and they swap bodies in it. And there's a lyric where the word penis is said, and then there's another lyric where it says, I'll smash a glass bottle over a bouncer's head. And I was listening to that song on the radio, and they blanked out the anatomically correct word of penis, but they left the violence of I will smash a bottle over this man's head in. And I just thought, that's what's wrong. Like sex and sexual activity and body parts and anything to do with that is almost demonized to the point where, heaven forfend, we hear the word penis, like, I'll burn. So we blank that out, but then violence is so normalized, and it just, it doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't make sense to me either. No. I don't get it.
I'm here working my ass off trying to change it, but I think I'll need some more time.
You're right. This is one of the conversations we had with Jess, is like, why is sex so taboo still to this day? I don't get it. Everyone does it. Like, even the people who think it's a taboo subject do it. So
I know it is. I mean, that is a question with so many answers that kind of stem from societal, educational, religious, personal upbringings. I think as the generations progress, we will become more open to talking about sex. And I did have a friend the other day say, well, actually, I'm fine with sex. I just don't want to talk about it. And I was like, let's circle back, because we're not saying you have to talk about what you personally like and what you personally do and your own personal experiences, but being unable to discuss kind of the philosophy surrounding sex and sexuality is, I think, really integral in being a well-rounded person. And if we're going to have kids, don't we want them to be well-rounded people? And, I always say, like, people cannot make an informed decision about anything without being informed, and that includes sex.
Absolutely.
So I think it goes back to schools as well, like with sex education, and people being like, I will not have my child learn about that when they're like 7 or 8 years old.
It's all under the kind of falsehood and the wrong idea that if kids or young people know about sex, then we'll have these sky-high pregnancy rates, sky-high STI rates. And it's just like, if we look at other countries that teach age-appropriate sex education from as young as 5, I'm like thinking Netherlands and Denmark and all that kind of area, they have the lowest teenage pregnancy rates, the lowest STI rates, but maybe more importantly, the lowest rates of abuse in children, because children have ownership over their own body. They know what these body parts are and what they're for and that they're theirs. And then they know if something happens to them, then that's wrong. And that is something that I think we are really missing out on in this country. And I think it's so easy to kind of listen to the masses, but the masses on this particular subject, I'm very, very certain, are wrong in their opinions.
Yeah,
absolutely
just, right. Yeah, nailed it again. I mean, because obviously our teenage pregnancies, I don't know the full statistics of it all, but I believe we're one of the worst countries, or at least, are we?
I think we're currently ranking second worst in the in not even the Western world, like in just. When you look at our stats, it doesn't say we're looking after our young people. It's saying we're ignoring them and they are lost and they don't know what they're doing. And there's nothing wrong with young people having sex, but there is something wrong with not giving the information on how they can have safer sex that protects them from disease, infection, and unwanted pregnancy, and then the other people that they have sex with as well. So it's a really it's a really difficult one to talk about because people are so passionate about it. And I think a lot of people don't understand what age appropriate sex education is. They think we're going to be telling 5-year-olds about penetration and foreplay, and that's just not the case. Like, it starts off with, these are your body parts and they are yours. And then it gradually progresses to the sex education that we generally tend to think of when we hear the word sex education.
Absolutely, I completely agree. Especially in a modern age, I think the problem is a lot of the people that make these decisions don't realise modern culture. I hate to call it a TikTok generation, but we pretty much are. And let's be honest, you can't scroll through TikTok without seeing adult material.
You cannot shield a pair of eyes, no matter how young they are, from the world indefinitely. And unfortunately, I think for my generation as well, because our sex education was pretty much zero, a lot of my peers and people in my age category find talking about sex, especially to their children, like impossible. I cannot tell you the amount of times I've had people say to me, "You're doing the sex education," because I just can't. It's embarrassing. And it makes me sad because I would love for them to feel positive about sex and sexuality and confident and in control and knowledgeable, because ultimately those cornerstones will make for a really strong foundation for their kids' education.
Yeah, and in a way as well, if parents do talk about it, their kids feel that they can confide in that parents if anything goes wrong or something happens, they're not sure on something.
Absolutely. Like, if you make something taboo, you take it off the table for discussion, and that's kind of the one thing you really want your kids to be able to come to you if they are in trouble or if they do need you.
Absolutely. Now, I still remember my sex education in school. It was one lesson and we watched a video in science, and that was it.
That's more than I got. We had, and I am not joking, we had to cut out sperm and stick them. It was like pin the tail on the donkey in class. And that was literally aside from the biological lesson of, this is what happens internally, that was the only kind of physical activity we had. I had a better sex education at my Church of England primary school than I did at my secondary school.
Wow.
They talked about relationships and like boyfriends and girlfriends and periods, and we got to put tampons in bottles of water to see which brand absorbed the most, so we'd know when our time came which brand we'd be better suited to. And like we had quite a no one ever believes me, but my primary school teacher had she was like a little old white lady with a big ginger afro whose dad was a cobbler and she lived in a windmill, and that is my primary school teacher who taught me about relationships. So really, I have her to thank. Cheers, Mrs. Gregory.
Your teacher was a character from an Enid Blyton book?
Yeah, essentially. I remember saying this when I went to university, and people were like, I don't get the joke. And I was like, it's not a joke. This is what my life was.
That's
in
wonderful.
The country.
I love it. But obviously, we're talking about sex, and one of the other projects you've got is you work with Love Honey as their in-house sexpert, and you have your very own line of sex toys.
Yes.
how does one get their own line of sex toys? And are you helping in the design, or are you basically just endorsing what they've done?
I really love the process. I mean, I cannot take even like 10% of the credit. There is a team. I'm not like a designer. I know what I like, and I get to pick from various designs. I get to make suggestions, and we get I can't even think of the word. I've got too excited, become overcome with excitement. Samples sent to us from various manufacturers to check kind of material and quality, and then we talk about functionality. And I'll say something like, "Okay, I really like this, but I don't like the buttons. Can we make them like sealed in?" So it's definitely a collaborative effort from an entire team of people, but it is a brilliant process, and I absolutely love it.
My favorite thing about your line, and from now chatting to you, I get a feeling that this probably is how it happened, is the names of them. Yes, please. Oh Wowee. Ooh la la. It's almost like you named them after the first thing you said when you saw them.
Because there were 3 products initially in the range, and then it's kind of like things have got discontinued when like they've not been a particular like popular product, and then we've introduced new toys. But it seemed like a brilliant idea of mine at the start, because there was the yeehaw, the yeah, the OMG, and I forget what they were the 3. And then as kind of ones got discontinued and then new ones came out, it's really difficult to think of like one word that encapsulates the brilliant time you're going to have with this toy every single time. But yeah. It's a great process, but it is difficult coming up with those single words. It
was just I think it was a butt plug with like a jewel on there. It's like ooh la la. I was like, yes, that's what she said when she took it out of the packet, isn't it? That's where they've got the next
exactly what I said, with the smoky grey crystal base. I love it.
I'm just expecting this like massive one to come out and it'd be called "Fuck That."
Well, my friend did say when we were looking at one particular product that never made it into production, but he got it out and just went, "Should we call this one the ouch?"
Oh, I love it so much. What have you got coming up that you're allowed to talk about? At least.
Oh, do you know what? Nothing. I do have something coming up. But I am not. Oh, actually, I can talk about one thing. I am kind of doing some brand ambassador work for a company called Viva Street, and I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they are essentially classified. They're like the yellow pages for sex workers. Yeah. So we are working together to create some video content that I am so excited for. It's such a great project, and essentially the safety of sex workers is at the heart of the project, with then educational videos for not only sex workers but people looking to use them and employ them at the same time. So we're doing 7 videos, and they've all got various topics, and we do everything from kind of how to safely meet clients to how to introduce kink into your relationship, regardless of whether you're a sex worker or not. So I am really excited to kind of get those out there and see the reaction to them.
Now you mentioned that's another good point. That is something that has come to the forefront and seems to be a lot less taboo now. Mm-hmm. Is sex workers? You know, that OnlyFans has just exploded. Like it's OnlyFans everywhere. Is brilliant.
I love it. I think it's a great platform. It really allows the people using it to be completely in control of their image, what they put out there, their income stream, their content, and their communication with clients as well. I think it's a fabulous tool for anyone who's looking to get into sex work, or anyone who's looking to produce content in any realm, really.
It's wonderful to see this change in culture, like, because before, let's be honest, say 10 years ago you said I'm a sex worker, dirty.
Yeah,
now it's fair enough.
There's still kind of that stigma in certain circles, and I think there's also this idea that if someone is a sex worker, it's through a lack of choice or opportunity. And I'm sure there are people out there who have done or do sex work that think, I'd rather do something else, but this is, it's, I don't know, fits my lifestyle and I can earn some money from it. But and I would say this with what I hope is truth, I think for the majority of sex workers, it is a career choice. It is not a lack of choice, it's a choice.
Absolutely. There's a lady I follow on TikTok. She's absolutely hilarious. Rebecca Goodwin, her name is. And she, from her work, literally doing OnlyFans, she's bought a house, a car. She's pretty much paid for her kid to go to college and uni. It's like,
more power to anyone who wants to earn a living doing anything that they can be successful at, because success isn't measured by how you achieve it. It's just you are successful. You've reached your goals. That is personal success. So I am like big 2 thumbs up for anyone who wants to do that with their life.
Absolutely.
Random question, right? And this has baffled me completely for years. Why do guys think dick pics work? Why does somebody seriously?
Where did that come from?
It's a very weird territorial ownership type of thing. I don't know, as I know many guys that would or have sent dick pics that think they're being interpreted as like sexy. I think it's more like, this is what I'm working with. Are you interested? Try before you buy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then for other people, it certainly has a streak of narcissism and ownership and the shock factor. And you can kind of see this when you go back to childhood. Like, people say mean things or do extravagant or big things to get a reaction, whether that is a positive or a negative comment or whatever. And I think dick pics kind of fall into that. It's like the grown-ups way of pulling pigtails. Like, someone's gonna say, even if you get a reaction of, oh my god, I did not want that, why did you send that to me, that's someone opening a door to you. So yeah, dick pics are absolutely fine if they are requested and consensual. If no one's expressed an interest in your penis, do not send a picture of it.
Hell no. Because what are they expecting? That the ladies can be like, oh my god,
that's the most beautiful penis I've ever seen. I know. It's I mean, it probably does. I mean, there are definitely going to be people out there who have received a dick pic and gone, yep, brilliant. If I wasn't sure before, I am now. Let's go out. Because, it takes all sorts and the world goes around in different circles. But I genuinely have never spoken to a person who's, especially if it's an unsolicited dick pic, that's gone, yep, that was brilliant. We're now married with 3 kids. Like, it just it's not the way. And if you think it might be the way, are you comfortable telling that story when people say, how did you meet?
Yeah.
That's one to put in the wedding speech, isn't it?
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
We met when he airdropped me a picture of his penis at the airport. It was so romantic.
That happened to me on a plane once, but it wasn't a picture of a penis. I just got this like incoming picture and I wasn't really familiar with airdrop at the time. So I was like, accept. And it was just loads of cat pictures. And I was like, this is brilliant. I love it. But then I had to turn my airdrop off because it was too many cat pictures.
Mental.
I mean, that's the most innocent, weird thing ever. It's great.
I know. I'm not requesting this in any way, but I've never been hit on in a bar. I've never been bought a drink. I've never had a dick pic. Like, for someone in my line of work, I mean, I've had plenty of like mean comments and abusive messages, but none like that are flirty or like sexual. I think they just think, oh, she, it's busman's holiday. I won't bother. Here's a cat picture.
Fantastic.
Oh, last thing for myself before we wrap up, from a person who's achieved so much, especially at a young age, is there anything else you'd like to achieve in your career? Why are you laughing at young age?
I'm laughing at my young age because everyone always thinks I'm a bit younger than I am, and if I didn't have the like soft focus on, you'd be like, oh, clearly you've spent a long time crafting your career. So during the first lockdown, I love writing. Absolutely love it. Books are really, really hard. And I find that I have kind of less brain space for novels, or I did at the time. And I thought, I really want to write a script. I want to write a film. So I wrote a film, Googled how to do it on the internet and thought, no film school, I'll write this. It was terrible, but I really enjoyed doing it. So I decided to enroll on a course with the University of East Anglia while lockdown 2 was in full swing. So I did that course, kind of learned how to do some screenwriting, started writing films, really, really liked it. But thought I actually don't know much about the filmmaking process. And like I said before, I'm not a big nepotism fan. So I thought I want to go and learn this by myself. So I applied to get into the National Film and Television School, which is worldwide the second best film school ever. And I thought I'll never get in because everyone who goes there is like, they're already doing film. They're already in the industry in some way, and they're looking to like migrate to a different department or to further their skills. And I ended up getting accepted into the NFTS, which was crazy. I think they took pity on me. But regardless of the reason, I got in. And so I've been doing that for, God, a lot. It feels like a really long time, but I graduated at the end of April. So I have been writing films and submitting them to competitions. I'm getting a bit of headway, and I'm currently trying to find a scriptwriting agent. And I've also got a little job as a associate producer role on a new horror film that's being filmed in March. So I'm going to be a film star. Emmerdale are going to rue the day they didn't hire me.
If one of your lines,
long-winded revenge plan ever.
If one of your lines in this film isn't "How dare you," I'll be really disappointed.
It was "How could you?"
Oh, close.
Come on, Jay.
All right.
No. So yeah, I want to do some film work now, and then other stuff is just keep doing what I'm doing. Just keep plodding on and trying not to, die in the process, which is always a daily fear for me. I forgot to leave my house.
I mean, I hope you don't. I'm sure you'll be absolutely
I know.
fine.
I'm like, I always, if I'm driving anywhere, it's the first thing that comes. I need to stop it. I'm just like, I could die today. Have I achieved? Have I done anything? Have I done the dishwasher?
There's a word for that, isn't there? Where like, I think because I do it walking over a bridge, like I can just jump off that. I can just jump off right into the motorway.
Oh my goodness, you're the first person. Like people think it's like, if I ever say it to my friends, they're like, "That's really dark." I'm like, it's not really dark. I don't think I'm going to do it. You could.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, this took a weird turn. Let's get it back on track.
Sorry,
it's all the horror films I watch. I swear. I watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre when I was 11 with my dad, and he was left to babysit, and I don't think he did the world's greatest job. But I absolutely love horror films. It's completely my passion and my genre. And I think it's seeped into my like psyche from a young age. So yeah, dark thoughts occasionally.
As long as you don't act upon them, it's fine.
Yes, of course.
It's just a bridge. Keep walking. Anyway. Mr. Stevens, do you have any more questions for our amazing guest?
Yes, I do. One more. Annabelle, when you first started out with your dreams of Emmerdale, did you ever think that this is where you'd be today with everything that, all the qualifications you've gained, like getting into film school, etc.? Do you think this is where you'd be?
No, never in a million years. I was only like 12 when I did that, so I didn't even really know what sex was then. I was just
fair.
Kind of, it was in my peripheral vision of something I may have to think about at some point in life. But no, I was very set on just being an Emmerdale star. But no, I hadn't. And I did computer science and engineering at university, and I didn't ever think I was going to go into this at all. I wanted to go into like media production, so I did a weird science degree that had nothing to do with, it did have quite a lot to do with television, but the mechanics of it rather than the making of it. But I was in there then. I was already got my student loan in. I wasn't going to jack it in. I
said making TVs. I didn't think they meant literally making a TV.
Yeah, job at do it.
Yeah. Before we let you go, Annabelle, any plugs, social medias, anything you want people to check out?
Yes. I have 3 novels available at the moment that would all make fantastic Christmas presents. If you just Google my name, they'll come up. But the Matchmaker's Match is my latest one, and I love it. It was my favourite one to write. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm just Annabelle Knight, a little Annabelle Knight, that's it. And my website is annabelleknight.com if anyone really cares about work that much. And then other than that, just no, I'm not very good at social media. I hate all the plugging. I'm just like, I like doing the chatting, and that's it.
Oh, that's fair enough. This has been sensational. Thank you so much for taking the time out to sit and chat to us.
Thank you for having me on. I've had such a good time. I love doing podcasts. It's so much fun.
Oh, well, I'm pleased you enjoyed. That's what we aim for. We like the chill vibe, just hanging out, chatting, like not really.
I'll tell you what, I haven't talked about myself like that ever. It's really nice. It's been like kind of reading an old diary, or like, like you don't realize kind of like what you've done. It's like, again, it's like TikTok, it's that next thing, like it just fades into the background, and then you guys very kindly brought me down a little memory lane path, and it was lovely. I've had a great time.
I'm glad. Pleased. It's what we like to do, because it's great getting to know about people's work, but we find it even more fascinating to find out about the person behind the work.
Yeah.
Yes.
And why they do what they do, etc. And yeah, we love it.
Yeah. I mean, my top line is I'm a little bit nosy, and that's probably why I do what I do. Tell me your secrets.
Wonderful.
Brilliant. Okay, right. Well, have a lovely evening. Thanks so much.
You too.
Thank
Take
you
care,
very
and I'll
much.
see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Just glorious. What an amazing interview. I absolutely loved this one so much.
Yes, it's definitely the one for 2022. We should definitely do like a big release of our favourite interviews of 2022 at the end of the year.
Definitely. Well, I feel bad picking them. It's like picking your favourite child. It's very difficult.
Yeah, I know. It's quite hard, isn't it? So we've had some superb good. Annabelle, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us. We really, really enjoyed it, and we hope that you enjoyed being a part of our show. And we hope that you guys listening enjoyed it as much as we did recording it.
Mr. Stevens.
Mr. Westwood.
Thought it's participation time, baby.
Participate, bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to participate in Jamie's Participation Challenge. This week, I said, remember back in the day when we used to do a show called Superhero Bar Fight?
No,
just me then.
Oh.
In honour of those days, we are asking you today, if you could see two fictional characters fight, who would it be and why? What say you, Mr. Stevens?
I'm going to go back to the show because, where we started our podcasting career, I'm going to have to go for our Wile E. Coyote fight with the guy from Watchmen. I forget his name.
Dr. Manhattan. Yeah.
That was the best bar fight I think we ever did.
Absolutely. That I cannot wait to re-release into the world on Patreon. I'm so excited because it's just the fucking best.
It was all sorts of batshit.
It really
no birdseed can save me now. But yeah, like I haven't thought, obviously, since we ended the show back in 2020, I haven't thought about anything to do with superhero bar fight. So off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody. I'd probably pick Jack Bauer. Who's another really good fucking, like the Punisher, maybe?
Punisher? Or Jack Bauer versus John McClane from Die Hard.
Oh, that'd be
a good one to watch.
But there's no way Jack's losing.
No,
so
Jack's taking it.
There's just absolutely no way. Once you get more into the series, you'll just see that there's no way.
Obviously. The only one I thought of was because I've been watching a lot of horror movies lately, was Michael Myers versus Jason Voorhees. That'd be a good fight to watch.
But we did that one as well for a Halloween special back in 2019.
Did we? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
I forgot about that.
We did.
Oh, there we go then. Right, let's get some audience answers. Alan Carr says, I was going to say God, but WWE did that with Shawn Michaels at Backlash 2006. Really made me chuckle.
Awful. That was
so bad.
Doesn't dare being talked about that bullshit.
Ben Gumry simply says, you know what? Someone should make a podcast about this. You're right.
They really should. Yeah.
They really should. Emma Wharton says Reacher and Deadpool. I don't know a lot about Reacher, but I've heard very good things about it. But surely he can't beat Deadpool. He can't be killed.
Well, exactly. Still a good fight, though.
It would be a very good fight. Graham White says a claymation version of Richard Nixon versus a Muppet version of Jimmy Hoffa.
I have no idea.
2 former American presidents. Like, I just want to see a Muppet and a claymation have a fight, to be honest. It sounds amazing.
But what would win, though? Because the Muppet, you can't put that together, whereas the clay you can. So the clay's obviously going to win, surely.
Yes, Richard Nixon wins that one. Violet Autumn says Ash from The Evil Dead versus a Demogorgon from Stranger Things.
I haven't seen The Evil Dead, so
he basically just goes and fights against zombies, but he's got a chainsaw as a hand, so he's winning this. A Demogorgon can't fight against. Well, she said a Demogorgon or Vecna. He ain't beating Vecna. No one's beating Vecna. 11 couldn't beat Vecna. No one's beating Vecna. So I went with the Demogorgon to give Ash a chance. Matt Rose says Barney the Dinosaur versus Big Bird. I've no idea why, it's just the first thing that came to my mind.
That's a great shout, though. I think but Big Bird would win because Barney the Dinosaur loves everyone.
That's very good. Just try and give him a hug.
Yeah. And Big Bird, like,
Big Bird just fucking drop him a nut.
Yeah. His massive fucking legs. Rip him apart. I'll show you who fucking loves you, bitch.
Riley Delve says Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy and Rio from Good Girls. I have never watched Good Girls. I don't know who this person is. So I was hoping you might know because I didn't have a clue.
Nope.
I don't know why. Now I'm thinking about it, really. John Weldon, God versus Gandalf.
That's my favourite answer ever. That'd be great. That'd be really great. I want to see that.
Same. It sounds like a great
world, but
absolutely. Are we going Gandalf the Grey or Gandalf the White? We need these answers. If it's Gandalf the White, or we go with this is going to be a good fight. Patrick Little says, I'd love to see an argument between Dean Winchester from Supernatural and Deadpool. I feel that would go on for hours. In a fight, Deadpool's won it. In an argument, that would be great to watch because Dean is just a sarcastic bastard. It'd be great to watch.
Okay.
Yeah. I've watched like a handful of episodes of Supernatural, like Superfan, know it all. Julia Ham says Jokey Smurf from the Smurfs and Marvin the Martian. For anyone requiring several earth-shattering kabooms. I'd just like to see Marvin the Martian in a fight, to be honest.
Yeah, same.
2 more. Mali Malpass. The best thing we did was make friends with this man because his audience participation answers are incredible. He says, this would be Batman's ultimate and most frustrating battles. All the prep time in the world couldn't stop Wile E. Coyote from coming back over and over ad infinitum. The collateral damage to Gotham from Wile E. Coyote's bombs, missiles, and dynamites and dastardly traps would be inordinate.
That'd be amazing. Yeah.
Batman versus Wile E. Coyote. I am down. Just incredible.
That's the crossover you didn't need.
No. And last but not least, it's my good friend Stefan. He's given us 3 answers. No context, just given us the time to discuss like old days. Batman versus Iron Man.
Okay.
I'm saying Batman, personally.
That's hard. Iron Man probably, though, because Batman doesn't kill people.
Doesn't. This is very true. But he took down Superman, so you can take down Iron Man.
Only because the movie told you so.
The comic book did as well.
All right.
He then says, Ant-Man versus the Atom. Oh. It's a big and little fight.
Because, yeah, it's definitely got to be Ant-Man, though.
I feel like I want to say Ant-Man just because I like him more. Yeah, it's
yeah. No one cares about the Atom.
And last but not least, Stefan made my heart so happy with this answer. Who would win, Ned Flanders or Captain America?
Oh,
yes!
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all.
All the way back to the pilot.
That was great. I love our intro for that show because it was like the very first episode and the very first day was like, I'm picking Ned Flanders. There was no like, hi guys, what's going on?
I'm dreading listening to that back. But yeah, I'm still saying Captain America.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm going with Ned Flanders. He's got the power of God on his side.
Oh shit, I forgot about that bit from last time. Yeah, oh yeah. Would God smite Captain America?
Yeah,
He's a humble
Stefan,
boy.
appreciate it massively. Going back to the very first episode, the first podcast we ever did.
Yeah.
Huge. Absolutely huge.
It made me so happy. I was like, someone remembers the pilot. Beautiful.
But of course, thank you so much to everyone that participates in Jamie's Participation Challenge. We appreciate it so much that everyone gets involved. I do love these. You've been smashing out the park recently, Mr. Westwood.
Oh, well, thank you.
Killing it. Love it. We love everyone that participates. We love everyone that enjoys the treaches. Thank you to Callum for participating and challenging and treaching every single week. And if you do enjoy that, Tom's journal, the interview, and all the absolute fucking donkey twaddle we talk at the beginning of each episode, then you'll enjoy the other 60 editions of the Chronicles of Podcast, wherever you get your podcast from: Spotify, Google, Apple, etc. We are also on the YouTube at the Chronicles of Podcast. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you get notified of every other video that gets released every single week on a Friday around 6 p.m. with a trailer around Monday, Tuesday at 6 p.m. around that sort of time. You know, talk to Jamie about that. You can also find our hashtag WBW way back Wednesdays. They're obviously complete there, but they're available on the YouTube there to enjoy. As well as our live interviews from the Bloodstock Festival and of course the Bloodstock vlog. Get fucking watching that vlog, motherfuckers. It's all for these guys. We are also on Facebook at the Chronicles of Podcast. Please hit the like, hit the share, tell everyone about it. That's it. That's all I want you to do. Jamie, thinking back, where else could you find us?
Sitting there watching Love Island, thinking to yourself, why am I watching this?
Yeah. Or tweeting about it on the Twitter at TCO Pod. Jamie, I'm really struggling here. Where else could you find us?
Sitting there taking a selfie while you're putting a specimen of jizz into a postbox.
Yes, absolutely doing that every single fucking day. And you can then find us on the Instagram at TCO Pod. We are also on TikTok at TCO Pod. Come and give us some love, give us some follows. Tell everyone to fucking subscribe and follow us, guys, because you know it just makes sense, doesn't it, to be honest with you. But if social media is not your bag, you can go to our beautifully brand spankingly sexy and wonderful little incredibly gorgeously deliciously made little website at www.thechroniclesofpodcast.com. All of our shows and episodes are on there, all of our us on there, all of our affiliation and sponsors are on there. These lovely little numbers right here. The Chronicles of Podcast. Downloaders, reviewers, sharers, raters, tell all of your friends about us. Allow us into your ears. But most importantly, when posting jizz into a postbox, make sure you don't say the word stiffy ever again. And make sure that that shit is sealed on tight, because nobody wants a soggy envelope.
The envelope is plastic, it's fine.
Fair. Or a cum-filled envelope.
Yum, yum, yum. Anyway, before we get out of there, let's say a massive thank you to our friends. Every single piece of music you hear on this show is brought to you by one man. That delicious, wonderful man is the incredibly talented singer-songwriter Matt Roberts, wonderful friend of the show. Go check him out on Spotify. All of his music will be on there, including Once in a Lifetime, which is our theme song. Amazing.
We love
Go
that shit.
find him on all the social medias at Matt Roberts Music. Give him a follow and tell him we sent you. We said, go listen to his music because he's goddamn awesome. While you're there, head on over to www.staycozyclothing.com or download the smartphone app. On there, you will find some incredible apparel, including this t-shirt right here. Do you like the word apparel? Well, I've never used that before. It's a good word.
Well, I haven't.
You'll find some incredible clothing, and I can assure you, because I wear this t-shirt and that hoodie all the damn time, they are what they say on the tin, like Ron Seal, they are cozy. When you find everything you like, stick it in your basket and then head over to the checkout and enter the discount code The Chronicles and get yourself 10% off your order. Oh no, Tom's going to interrupt me. Yes, sir.
It's Ron Seal cozy.
I mean, it does what it says on the tin.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
Yeah. While you're there, I definitely recommend you pick up the Sophie Lancaster Collaborative T-shirt. 50% of the profits from that T-shirt go straight to this incredible foundation. And it's a beautiful design, which you would really, really do just need to adorn your bodies with, quite frankly. And speaking of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, they are stamping out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. And we literally mean everywhere. This organisation does not just focus on the UK. This is a global effort. Yes, we are trying to change the laws here in the UK, but it is not just people here in the UK who are treated differently. No matter who you are, if you're treated differently because of the music you listen to, the way you dress, the way you just want to put yourself out there into the world, then we need you to do us a little favour and head on to sophielancasterfoundation.com, click on the hate crime tab and fill in that questionnaire. All of the information from that questionnaire will be used, collated together and be sent off to the court to basically say, let's add the alternative subculture as a hate crime because people are being targeted for simply that. It has been happening since God knows when, in the days of the rockers and the mods. We've all seen Stranger Things. We saw how Eddie was treated. That was real life, ladies and gents. That actually happened. And it's still happening today. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's about bloody time it stopped. So please head on over to sophielancasterfoundation.com and do whatever you can to help. And please share that little baby all on your social medias because people who don't listen to this could be in that situation. So let's point them in the right direction. And last but not least, thank you to this handsome devil over here.
And right back at you. So, what more can I say? Jamie, another absolutely glorious edition.
Absolutely. I don't think I've laughed this hard in a very long time.
It's been a while. It has been a while, but I like it when that shit starts flowing. Guys, thanks for being with us. Annabelle, thank you so much again for being a part of the show. And again, we hope everybody enjoys it. It's just an absolutely glorious episode and a glorious interview. Definitely one of my all-time favorites of the year. But everybody, as for this week, we're going to see you all next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!